You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do, what it do? We are in the building, man. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, man. We got to talk about some of this boxing with the great Dr. Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with the great Boxing Talk family. And we are here, man. We are here on this wonderful, what's this, Wednesday? Woo, the newsletter just dropped. You heard me. Let's get right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, brethren and sistren, boys and girls, hermanos, mi hermanas, ladies and lads, dudes and dudettes, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We are here, man. Wonderful Wednesday. We are this much closer to the Ring 4, man. That's crazy. Like, it's so wild to me because the Ring 4 seems so far away when we were first talking about it. That's just how time works, right? And now it seems like it's right around. Well, it is right around the corner. Not seemingly. It is actually right around the corner. So, man, we got some good boxing to come about this weekend. Good Lord willing, and some wonderful fights, man. It's so great that the 4 main fights, some of them are going under the radar, like Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes, and like Bam Rodriguez and Puma Martinez. I think that's the one that's going the most under the radar. And all these fights could literally be headliners. You see what I'm saying? They could be they could headline any show, you know, and the fact they're all together and some are going under the radar is just indicative of them, of how stacked this card is. You feel me? So let's get to it. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and thank the Most High like we always do. Give him all the praise and the glory that he deserves, you know? So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this wonderful Wednesday. We are in the middle of the week and we just want to ask you for renewed strength. You know, sometimes things get a little hard, things get a little rough, and it's easy to look down as opposed to looking up. So we just want to thank you for the strength to keep going. Thank you for the courage to face our fears, to face any obstacle that's currently in our way. And Lord, let us approach life, whether it's celebrations or disappointments, with grace. Let's approach it with grace, and also approach it and attack it with swift judgment as well. Let's not let anything that doesn't have to linger on, and just be confident in our moves and our and our intentions. But please let our intentions be deliberate, but most importantly, be good intentions, Lord. We don't want to have approach anything with a bad spirit or ill intent, or just be negative or anything like that. We don't want to be malevolent. We want to be benevolent. So we just thank you for the strength to do so, to be kind when it's difficult, do the right thing when it's hard, and just give you all the glory, and thank you for the strength. And please forgive us for our sins when we misstep, because we misstep often. I know I do. Through Jesus' name, amen. Amen. So let's get right to it. So first off, before we get to the main topic, man, I want to talk about Tim Tszyu. So we have Tim Tszyu, our Aussie brethren. He is he's stepping back in the ring in December, man, less than a month, December 17th in Australia, right? And I wish Tim Tszyu the best, man. He's going against an undefeated gentleman named Anthony Velasquez. I'm not too familiar with him, to be honest. Like I said, I just know he's undefeated, and this is going to be Tim Tszyu. I would say it's Tim Tszyu's make or break fight, but I don't know if it's a make or break. He did lose to Sebastian Fedora, then he got smoked by Bakram, then he lost to Sebastian Fedora again. In the interim between that, he fought was it Brock Jarvis? Or did Keith Thurman fight Brock Jarvis? No, he fought Joey Spencer. Yeah, he fought Joey Spencer, if my memory serves me correctly. And and then he lost to Fedora again. I do think that this is a make or break from the I'm gonna be honest, man. I liked him, but I already think he's past the point to believe that he's gonna be a champion again. So I think this is a make or break again, but a make or break in him being just another guy, as opposed to being a make or break with him and his championship aspirations. I would never tell nobody to aspire. I mean, you want to be ambitious and have ambition. You want to be ambitious and keep your aspirations intact and your dreams. But I do think I would be very, very, very surprised if he could get a belt again. So I kind of think that's already gone in the wind. But I will say that this is a determining factor on whether he should even continue boxing. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with Anthony Velasquez. Has little to do with him. I mean, he might be able to stop it. I don't know how good. And Anthony Velasquez could be a great fighter. I don't know much about him. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, if he loses to Anthony Velasquez because Velasquez is trash because I don't know him, then he's garbage. No, I'm just saying that if he takes another loss, that's just going to be bad, regardless if Anthony Velasquez is good or not. You see what I'm saying? It's just one of those positions where you shouldn't lose again. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Tim Tszyu, though, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to definitely tune in, good Lord willing, and we'll see. Shout out to my brother Thomas Hill in the building. What's good, brethren? And so one time for the Aussie brethren, you feel me? Now, moving on, man. I feel like I want to talk about Jake Paul, man. I want to talk about Jake Paul. And that's because I've been seeing a lot of people, to my surprise. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really be surprised, because the reason why I shouldn't really be surprised is because people always say crazy stuff. You see what I'm saying? But I'm seeing a lot of people somehow making a victim out of Jake Paul, saying that, oh, yeah, they feel bad for Jake Paul. He's in danger. This is what he signed up for. Every time a fighter fights, he's in danger. Now, I get it. I'm not oblivious to what's there, the obvious, right? I'm not oblivious to the obvious. Obviously, he's not. I don't consider him a pro boxer, right? But he's been masquerading as a pro boxer. You see, and some people saying, "Oh, he should be considered a boxer." Okay, cool. Because boxing is one of the rare sports where there's no type of criteria that has to be met. There's no qualifications that have to be obtained before you could get into the league, if you will. Like the NBA, you get drafted. The MLB, you get drafted. NFL, you get drafted. Boxing, you could just go declare that you want to be a pro, and as long as you pass a physical, you're good. But that's why boxing is also special on the flip side too, because everybody gets a chance, and it's up to you, it is a single sport, to see how good you are. You could be an underdog or unknown like Anthony Yard, not have any background or amateur background like Fabio Worley, and come out and be great. Or you can have an extensive amateur background and be great, or have an extensive amateur background like the guy who beat Floyd, and that's the only thing we know him as, the guy who beat Floyd in the amateurs. We don't know him for his professional record. So, it is fighting. There's a lot of guts, a lot of glory, a lot of skill, a lot of will, a lot of different factors that go into it. So I think that is a good aspect of boxing. But at the same time, it could be misleading when you have a guy who's very popular in Jake Paul, and people think because he beat up guys that aren't boxers, that wouldn't qualify as professional boxers themselves, and we act like he's good. You see what I'm saying? So I think that with Jake Paul, we have to remember that he's not being sacrificed to fight AJ. He signed up to fight AJ. He wants to fight for the biggest bag. He could go fight an unknown cruiserweight. He could go work his way up through the rankings through merit. You see what I'm saying? But he chooses not to. He chooses to use his popularity to his advantage and fight guys like Nate Robinson. Did you feel bad for Nate Robinson when Nate Robinson was asleep? No. No one said, oh, well, Nate Robinson doesn't belong in the ring. He's a basketball player. When he beat up Ben Askren, did anybody feel sympathy for Ben Askren? What about Tyron Woodley when he put him to sleep? What about he just fought a 60-year-old geriatric Mike Tyson? Did anybody feel bad for them? That's the only time I will give Jake Paul credit. I do think Jake Paul took it easy on Mike Tyson. I know that sounds funny, but the guy is 60 years old. And I think that the backlash he would have received for trying to hurt Mike Tyson, he might have got death threats. You see what I'm saying? So it's been something crazy. But he fought all the only people that he's fought. Even Julio Cesar Chavez, he's fresh out of rehab. So every time he's fought somebody, he had a significant advantage over them. Did you feel bad for them? So why the one time, the first time, the only time that he has the cards stacked against him, people are feeling bad for Jake Paul? The same people talk trash about Devin Haney when he got beat up by a guy on PEDs, even though the fight didn't count. Yeah. The contradiction, right? So it's just people just hypocritical all over the place, man. I wish people would just tell the truth. I feel this way because I like this person. I feel this way because I don't like this person. It has nothing to do with you being enlightened or you being educated on the topic or you being objective or even fair or even concerned. It's just that when you like somebody and you don't like somebody, then, you know, that literally tells you where you align. And I just thank God that we are who we are because I don't play that stuff. It's like Devin Haney, which we're going to get into later. Devin Haney and Brian Norman. I'm going for Brian Norman, but I don't judge Devin Haney based off Ryan Garcia. I saw some quote unquote boxing experts say that, oh, if Devin Haney loses, he could kiss the Ryan Garcia rematch goodbye. What? Bitch, Ryan Garcia already lost. So if it's predicated off of them winning, Ryan Garcia already threw it away. But once again, the pressure is on the guy that was cheated, not the guy that cheated. You see what I'm saying? No matter how it's just indicative of somebody not like it's not, you don't like the sport, bro. You just like you just talking about it because you like Ryan Garcia. You're not talking about it because it's boxing. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Kendrick in the building. But yeah, I just think that with Jake Paul, like I feel like I see quite a few people also, in addition to being sympathetic towards him, they're also giving him too much credit. Like, oh, he's so brave for fighting Anthony Joshua. No, he's not brave. If anything, he's greedy. You see what I'm saying? But I will give him credit for stepping in the ring with Anthony Joshua. I would have to, but I'm not going to give him an excessive amount of praise because if you remember, Jake Paul targeted Anthony Joshua already. He targeted Canelo first, who's a face of boxing, because he wants the most money. He didn't target another super middleweight. He didn't target Edgar Berlanga. He didn't target Jaime Munguia. He didn't target Christian and Billy. He didn't target Lester Martinez. I could keep going. He didn't target Diego Pacheco. He targeted Saul Canelo Alvarez because he's a face of boxing. Just like he targeted Mike Tyson because he knew that he would get a big bag from Mike Tyson's fandom. So that you're going to acknowledge that, then turn around and say, yeah, he gets a lot of credit for stepping at Anthony Joshua. No. He targeted after Turkey Al Sheikh went in there and took Canelo right out of his hands, right? They had the documentation posted to prove it. Then he turned to the next biggest guy from a marketing and an economic standpoint, Anthony AJ Joshua. And then that fell through because the exclusivity deal between DAZN and Anthony Joshua, he could only fight on a DAZN broadcast. And then Jake Paul wants to fight on Netflix. So before they ironed that out, Jake Paul said, okay, bump this. I'm going to go to the next biggest guy, who's actually a little guy, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Where was all the sympathy for Gervonta Tank Davis saying, hey, man, this guy's a lightweight. He weighs at 135, and Jake Paul's a cruiserweight who weighs almost 200 pounds. Oh, it's because he's good, right? It doesn't matter if you're good. I mean, if I have a German Shepherd, the Chihuahua could be the best fighter in the world. If he's fighting a German Shepherd, the German Shepherd has the advantage. The Chihuahua's at a disadvantage. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying to feel bad for Gervonta Tank Davis either, but I'm saying I'd be damned if I feel bad because Jake Paul's fighting Anthony Joshua after he chose to. Like I said, this is not the Hunger Games. He's not being volunteered as tribute. He's not being sacrificed for the greater good of boxing. He wants to go for the most revenue generator, the biggest revenue generator, the one that's going to have the biggest economic impact. And that, in the world of boxing that we live in, I don't know what world of boxing you live in, but the world of boxing that I live in, that's 3 people. And he coincidentally targeted all 3 of them. Number 1, the face of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez, aka Cinnamon. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. Number 3, Gervonta Tank Davis. And he targeted all 3 of them. He didn't target Shakur Stevenson. He didn't target Keyshawn Davis or Teofimo or any other smaller guy. He went for Gervonta. Super middleweight, he didn't target Diego Pacheco, Christian Billy, Lester Martinez, or any other super middleweight. He targeted Canelo. Heavyweight, he didn't target Alexander Usyk. He didn't target freaking, I don't know, give me another heavyweight, Fabio Worley. He didn't target Moses Atama. He targeted Anthony Joshua. He didn't target Zhale Zhang. He didn't target, you feel me? He target Anthony Joshua. And what do they all have in common? They're the biggest names in the sport. So how could I acknowledge that and notice that and then also feel bad for the guy because he might get beaten by boom? I mean, he might win. He might win, bro. He said that AJ's chinny, so he might win. So, but I just think it's crazy that people are giving him so much credit. Like, I'm giving him credit for going in the ring, yes, but I'm not saying, oh yeah, he's super brave. Oh yeah, this guy is somebody who really wants to box. No, if he really wanted to box, then he would box cruiserweights. He would target Ja Pataya or Zerto Ramirez or Badu Jack, or work his way up there, try to fight a Ryan Rozicki that's at cruiserweight, or try to fight a Chris Billiam Smith or something like that. He's not. It's for the money. You know what I'm saying? So there's only so much praise I could give somebody when they're getting money of that amount and say that they're brave. I mean, I'd step in the ring with, I mean, granted, I'm an amateur boxer. I've been in there with heavyweights before, so that wouldn't be completely foreign to me, but I'd spar anybody and or fight anybody for however many X amount of $1 million, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm broke compared to Jake Paul. He's already rich. So that just shows you his amount of greed. You feel what I'm saying? And also I heard that Netflix kind of put him in the corner. They're like, hey man, you know, we're not going to go with you fighting any other guy. We want somebody that's going to, we want you to actually earn your bread that you making. You see what I'm saying? So I heard that they kind of put pressure on him to actually do what he said he would do. And so he's doing it. So I will give him credit for that if the fight actually comes into fruition, because I'm not completely sure about that either. We'll wait and see. But it seems like everything's a go, man, for December. AJ versus Jake Paul. Now, I want to say this too. I have heard that Jake Paul also targeted Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He'd lose to both Terrence Crawford and Anthony Joshua, in my personal opinion. But I heard, and to Jake Paul's own admission, not that I heard, this is what he said, I heard it from the source. He said that Jake Paul said that Terrence Crawford and AJ were one of the few that actually accepted, you know, and Terrence Crawford, shout out to him, but I'm glad it's not Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford will whoop him, but I could see Terrence Crawford maybe going and carrying him a little bit. And plus, Terrence Crawford's a smaller guy. And I think that's very important, right? You could be like, oh, well, he's taking the bigger risk out of AJ and Terrence Crawford. No, he's taking the more intelligent risk, even though the one is more dangerous, right? Because let me put it like this. If you're somebody who has this persona, right, and you have aspirations to be a real boxer, and you have a guy that's smaller than you that you'll definitely lose to, and a guy that's bigger than you that you'll definitely lose to, probably just in a more brutal fashion, you're going to take the bigger guy, right? Because it'll look worse if Terrence Crawford, as great as Terrence Crawford is, it's going to look worse because Terrence Crawford's a smaller guy. You see what I'm saying? And Anthony Joshua probably comes with more money as well. You see what I'm saying? So there's no way, shape, or form that I can say that him taking AJ is because of bravery. You know what I'm saying? I think him losing to AJ won't look as bad as him losing to Bud. It's going to look worse because just like if he lost a Tank, it's going to look worse than him losing to AJ because AJ's a bigger guy. At least people could say, oh, well, you know, AJ's a bona fide heavyweight and, you know, he's a bigger guy. So it's okay that he loses. Just like we say if Terrence Crawford would have lost to Cinnamon or if Roy Jones would have lost to John Ruiz, we'd be like, okay, bet he's a smaller guy. You know, that's what we should say when Canelo loses to Bivol. That's what I say, you know, he's a smaller guy. So there is, if you fight a smaller guy, I mean, he's a bigger guy. So if you fight a smaller guy, then you don't really have an excuse to lose. And that's why Canelo's getting so much pressure because he lost to a smaller guy. You know, as great as Terrence Crawford is, it's still, hey, man, you're at the peak of your career. You lost to a smaller guy. You feel what I'm saying? So that backlash will be big. You know, people saying that he's not even an all-time great anymore. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Thomas. He said, no sympathy. It was deemed as a duck by Tank, and the Joshua is a great look for boxing. Exactly. They're talking about, oh, Joshua is a great look for boxing. Like, stop it, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at that. I'm going to watch. You know what I'm saying? I will give him some credit, but people are saying, oh, I feel bad for Jake Paul. Then other people saying, oh, yeah, but you have to give him all the credit in the world. No, bro. It's just another fight. You know, it's an 8-round fight, professional. I will give him credit for that. It's an 8-round fight, 10-ounce gloves, whatever, you know, 10-ounce gloves, 8 3-minute rounds. And it's but it does have a stipulation. You know, of course, Jake Paul has to come with a stipulation, and the caveat is that Anthony Joshua can't weigh more than 245 pounds. How you have a heavyweight on a rehydration clause? You have a heavyweight on a rehydration clause. Let me say that one more time. We have a heavyweight, for those of you that don't know, that's unlimited, and he's on the rehydration clause.
What?
He always, and this is the person you talk about you feel bad for, man. Shout out to Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul because I consider him as a promoter. I don't see him as a guy that's actually a fighter. I see him as more of bringing his influence to the sport and putting on good cards. Like, you know what I'm saying? He has Gary Anton Russell, who's a current WBA 140-pound champ, on his undercard. That's great for boxing against Andy Hiroka. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he has Alicia Bumgarner faces Leia Badoin, and he had Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, and he had Daniel Dubois, and he had Bruce Carrington and Mario Barrios, all of his undercards. So I think that's great for boxing. I look at him as a promoter that participates to promote. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with it. I want to be very clear. I don't have a problem with Jake Paul, but I'm not going to be fooled either. You're not going to fool me twice. You're not going to make me be like, oh yeah, man, you're a real boxer, and then at the same time feel bad because he's actually fighting a boxing fight that makes sense. This is as big as Anthony Joshua is. This is the most fair fight that he's been in. You realize that, right? From a fairness standpoint, and you can say, oh well, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was the same size as him. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was fresh out of rehab. That's like when Layla Ali fought that 45-year-old grandmother who was fresh out of rehab, and after she lost, she went right back to rehab. Yeah. That's what Layla Ali did when she was 22 years old. She fought a 40. Was she 45 or 48? I don't remember. I think she was 45 years old, right? So when you feel bad for people in similar situations, you have to do your research and know that they put other people in the same exact or similar situations, just the other way around. So before you say, you know, I mean, I don't want Clarissa Shields and Layla Ali to fight either, but I'm just saying that the age gap is not as big as Layla Ali took advantage of a larger age gap multiple times in her career, and against people who are less suitable to fight. You know, so Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson when he was 60 years old. That's not fair. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fresh out of rehab, and then he got deported. Literally got deported. I'm not making it. It sounds like a story, right? He was fresh out of rehab, lost the fight, and then got deported. The man going through it, bro. So that's not fair. He was about to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, who he has a 50-pound weight advantage over. That's not fair. He fought Nate Robinson, who's fresh off the basketball court. That's not fair, and an injury. He fought Ben Askren, who never boxed before. That's not fair. He fought Tyron Woodley, who was not a boxer either. So come on, not to mention the other people that he fought. So the one time that the odds aren't in his favor, people want to feel bad for him, man. Get the freak out of here, man. Jake Paul gonna get this work. He gonna have to earn that money this time. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know. But I will be honest too. If the fight does come into fruition, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul gets carried by Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Similar to what Floyd Mayweather did with Logan Paul. Granted, Floyd Mayweather is different because he's much smaller than the bigger brother in Logan Paul. But yeah, I can see Anthony Joshua carrying him, man. But if not, then he's gonna go out like Francis Ngannou. Another guy that no one felt bad for. You saw I'm glad he's okay, but look at Anthony Joshua, bro. He assassinated, decapitated, gosh dang, Francis Ngannou. Nobody felt bad. He's not a boxer. So I don't want to hear that, man. You know, Jake Paul has more boxing experience than Francis Ngannou. So why would you feel bad? Because he's fighting a guy his size. I don't understand it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate everybody in here right now. Shout out to 2 Cents in the building. What up, boss lady? Big member in the building. One time for the ladies. Shout out to 2 Cents. Said, man, that shit is diabolical. I've been screaming this. Nobody seems to have a problem with heavyweights being restricted in their weight with 4 weeks to prepare. Facts. Yeah. And I think that's crazy too. Shout out to Yes Indeed Boxing, aka Shawala Ya. One time for the ladies. Big member in the building as well. But she got Hannah problems though, Doc. She sent her handlers on old Gabriels. You talking about Hannah Gabriels? Yeah, I see some of that stuff, man. I'm not going for it, but it is what it is, man. You know, I ain't knocking anybody for shout out to Hannah. I like Hannah Gabriel, so you won't hear me say anything bad about her. But and everybody has their story, but I'm not blaming nothing that the sanctioned bodies do. I'm not blaming that on. I mean, no one's going out their way to blame WBC for stripping Dimitri Bivol. I never see people. I just haven't seen the same energy. I've never seen people get mad at David Benavidez because the WBC stripped Dimitri Bivol. It's not David Benavidez's fault that the WBC stripped Dimitri Bivol. So when do we blame the sanctioning bodies for the fighters for what the sanctioning bodies do? You know, they do crazy stuff all the time. So I don't think that's appropriate to put it on Clarissa Shields. But as far as Hannah Gabriel, man. Hopefully they get the fight again, you know. But if they don't, I don't really have a. I can't honestly say that. Oh yeah, I'm hoping for a Clarissa Shields Hannah Gabriel's rematch. I think it'll be dope. Don't get me wrong, but I like I said, you know me, I'd rather see her with Shay Kadili. But I really watch the boxing, so I'd rather see her versus first number one. I'd rather see her against Shadeja Green, but you know, and then maybe Shay Kadili, and then maybe even a rematch with Savannah Marshall. I think is better. I think that was a closer fight than Hannah Gabriel. Outside of Hannah Gabriel's dropping her in the first, was it the first round or second round? I can't remember. I think it was the first round. Outside of her getting dropped, I mean, it wasn't really a close fight, in my opinion. So, and what I saw, but yeah, shout out to Hannah Gabriel, shout out to Clarissa Shields, shout out to Layla Ali. You know, and speaking of that too, man. Speaking of that, right? And speaking to Jake Paul, I think it's so funny that people talk about this code stuff. You never hear me say anything about code. I had somebody when we were talking about the Clarissa Shields and stuff like that. They mentioned to me that, saying something bad about Clarissa Shields is off code. According to some people, I think they're referencing me. You never hear me speak like that. I can't help that you get in your personal feelings and you think because someone disagrees with you as far as your vendetta against a fighter that you don't know, you know, because you like another fighter, you think that someone's accused you of being off code. No, you can't impose or project your feelings onto me. That's how you speak. That's internet goofball talk. I don't speak like that. I don't know you to say what code that you abide by. I don't know if you're from the streets, the suburbs, or gosh dang the hilltops. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what you represent. I don't know what you stand for. A lot of people they fall for anything because they stand for nothing. So I can't impose a code that I think you should abide by on a stranger I don't know. That's just internet talk. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even talk like that. So I just ignored it because I don't even know who exactly they were talking. They couldn't have been talking to me. But anyway, I don't. So I was speaking of code though, right? Everybody talked about a code violation with Jerron Boots Ennis going to fight Cinnamon because Cinnamon was about to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. You know, people talked about a code file, and I like Tank, right? Thomas, you know that. You never hear me say that Shakur Stevenson was off code, or Montana Love was off code, or Keyshawn Davis was off code, or Ray Savage 4 was off code because they were in Jake Paul's camp. But people talk like that, right? So I just want to know if people are going to keep the same energy, because Lawrence Okoli just said that he wants to go in Jake Paul's camp. Not only is Lawrence Okoli black like Anthony Joshua, not only are they countrymen, they're both British. You know, he's British like Anthony Joshua. They're both heavyweights. He's a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua, but Jake is a Yank. Jake Paul is an American. So is Lawrence Okoli off code? Oh, but also too, they're both of Nigerian descent. You know, like Lawrence Okoli is of Nigerian descent, like Anthony Joshua. So is Lawrence Okoli off code because he offered to go help Jake Paul? Like, I just think it's silly, man. To me, it just demonstrates a lack of code that people have. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what standing on code is. I need to know what kind of code you're talking about. So I don't even speak like that because I feel like that's too much judgment on strangers I don't know. And also, boxing is a business, and I'm going to defend Jerron Boots Ennis, whether it was a right thing or wrong thing. We could say that we wouldn't. Like, it's okay to say that you won't do something without crucifying somebody because they don't operate on the same code that you do. It's okay to have two people do two different things. Maybe you wouldn't go help Canelo. That's cool. Maybe Thomas would. Do you have to assassinate his character because he made a decision that you wouldn't make? It's not like it wasn't good or evil. Like, it's so funny people put so much energy into things that don't matter, that are inconsequential in the overall grand scheme of things. But then when things matter, like people getting brutalized by the people that are sworn to protect us, like police, and people getting discriminated against based on their complexion or creed or religion, they're quiet on that, but they want to talk about a code, and they'll sit there and record a man hitting a woman. They'll sit there and record and laugh about it, but they want to talk about somebody going to go spar. Get the freak out of here, man. You goofy ass bitch. They be goofy as hell, bro. They be so goofy, man. They be so goofy. But anyway, but yeah, Lawrence Okoli said he wants to offer Jake Paul help, and I don't think that will really help him. You know, I think just go get, you know, he's going to get sparring time and he'll get paid. I don't know if Jake Paul will accept it, but I just thought it was funny. It's like, there's a lot of times people will go and help people that don't look like them in sparring. People will go help people that are not from the same country as them. They might even be from the same country as their opponent. Like, this happens in sparring. Like, I sparred guys that were black, brown, white. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and granted, that's just an amateur. They didn't have any, you know, no. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna be for something, then it shouldn't be based on popularity. It should be based on how you. That's a real code. You know what I'm saying? It's based on your morals and your values, regardless if people are watching or not. That's a real code. You see what I'm saying? It's what you stand on when the sun's out or when the sun's down. That's a real code. You see what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion on that though. So I just think it's funny, man. I just think it's funny, man. But yeah, he said, Thomas said, shout out to great relationships and business partners. You feel me? But yeah, do I think Lawrence Okolie should go help Jake Paul? I mean, I don't know, man. Do I think it looks funny? Yeah, because then it'll look like you're helping somebody that you could be friends with. It looks like you're helping somebody that you don't know, a stranger, be their friend. But other than that, I don't really even bat an eye to it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think it could look petty. I think it could look unfriendly or maybe even backstabbing, I guess, like that. But I don't even know backstabbing. Like, I don't know Anthony Joshua, Lawrence Okolie's relationship, bro. You know, I love people. There's some white people I don't like. There's some black people I don't like. There's some brown people I don't like. There's some Asian people I don't like. Some African people I don't like. Some European people I don't like. There's some North American people I don't like. But I love mostly everybody, but it's based on whether they're a good or bad person or not. So I can't act like because Lawrence Okolie and Anthony Joshua have a lot of similarities, they may not like each other. We know Shakur and Tank don't like each other, so I can understand why you went and sparred Jake Paul or Keyshawn Davis went and sparred Jake Paul or whoever else it is, Ray Ford or Montana Love. You know what I'm saying? They may not like it. Does it look weak? Yeah, it could look weak if you're part of Tank's camp or whatever, but are we sure that the other way around, Gervonta wouldn't go and spar Jake Paul? And if he did, I wouldn't be mad. I'll give you another example. A shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis. You know I rock with Gervonta. You know that's one of my favorite fighters right there. Yeah. But I want to say this too. I heard that I heard this from their mouths, but I thought they were just talking like that they might push forward with litigation. You know, they might file litigation against Jake Paul for pulling out the fight. But in order to file litigation, you got to go through the judicial system, right? And I'm not saying Gervonta himself. I mean, I know he did, but I'm not incriminating anybody. I'm just giving you another example, right? If you go forward with litigation to sue Jake Paul, which I'm hearing that's true, I think you should. If you have, bro, this is the business. If you have a legal stand, you know what I'm saying? Something to stand, legal substance to stand on to get your money, get your money. But I can't help but to remember the backlash that Devin Haney received when people found out that he was suing Ryan Garcia. They said it was soft because boxers don't sue. And I said that was stupid. So I'm saying the same thing now. If you say the same thing about Gervonta Tank Davis trying to get, or anybody, whether it's Gervonta suing Jake or Jake suing Ryan, you go, because Logan Paul and Jake Paul were suing Ryan as well for what he said about Prime, their drink or whatever, or Ryan suing, or Devin suing Ryan, or Frank Warren suing Chris Eubank. It's all business. But it does look very hypocritical if you're going to say that people shouldn't sue and then you turn around and sue yourself. It's just hypocritical. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be careful, because karma's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That thing come back around though. Like sometimes it comes back fast, sometimes it comes back slow. But you know when it come around, you gotta go. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you going? So it's just crazy. You know, and like I said, I'm not y'all know I like Gervonta more than I like Devin Haney, but I just stand on values and I stand on principles. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard for me to. Now we're all human, right? You have your preferences and stuff. So. Sometimes you could be more sympathetic, or not sympathetic, but empathetic towards people that you like than others. But at the same time, it's like, it's very easy to see, you know, sometimes things be black and white. It's just people that they put their feelings involved and it makes it a little gray. They, you know what I'm saying, muddle and blur the lines and stuff like that. But it's either you cool with somebody suing or you're not. It shouldn't matter who's doing it. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. I think that if he has legal grounds to stand on, sue him for every penny he got. You see what I'm saying? If it has anything with a contract violation, because Devin Haney didn't sue Ryan Garcia for getting beat up. He sued him for a contract violation. It was a breach of contract. That's what happens when you have PEDs involved in the sport or anything external that you involve that wasn't anticipated. It's not legal. It's a breach of contract. That's what he was suing him for. He wasn't suing because they got in a fight and he got punched on. Doesn't that sound dumb? So you think that everybody who lost a boxing match could sue their opponent? You sound like a fucking dumbass. Exactly. So that's just an education by Doc. You see what I'm saying? So so it's not that. It's the same thing that Steve Cunningham filed litigation against Antonio Tarver when Antonio Tarver popped dirty. You wouldn't know that because you don't really pay attention to boxing. You just pay attention when two big boxers are boxing. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between watching boxing and watching boxing when your favorite boxer is boxing. You're not a fan of the sport. You're a fan of that one particular boxer. You know, I'm not saying you have to know everything, but you at least do your research a little bit. So Devin Haney, I know a lot of people try to make it seem like he's a trailblazer for suing or litigation. No, he's not. Miguel Cotto also tried to sue Margarito. But if you notice, Margarito, it was never proven that he cheated Miguel Cotto. We think that he cheated Miguel Cotto, and I do too, of course. We think that because of the residue and because of what happened after. But if you know your boxer research, Antonio Margarito was caught cheating by the late great Nazim Richardson, the legendary trainer. Nazim Richardson doesn't train Miguel Cotto, right? He trained Sugar Shane Mosley, meaning Margarito got caught cheating when he fought Sugar Shane Mosley, not Miguel Cotto. We think he cheated against Miguel Cotto, but the guy that we know cheated in Ryan Garcia, people are acting like it doesn't matter. But it matters when we think Margarito cheated Cotto. I believe Margarito cheated Cotto. I think Margarito cheated everybody he got in the ring with until he got caught. Because once you get caught, I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. I like Margarito, but I think he cheated as far back as Sergio Martinez when he beat him up when he was younger. He probably cheated then too. He probably cheated Paul the Punisher Williams. It just wasn't good enough. Every time you cheat, it doesn't mean that you're going to win. But I do think he cheated until he got caught. So I do think he cheated against Miguel Cotto, but I want to emphasize it was not proven. And that is why Miguel Cotto didn't take him to court, because it was never proven. He didn't have enough evidence to stand on, because a picture with a red residue would not suffice. Same reason why Edgar Berlanga didn't take Shiraz to court. You don't think he would have if he really thought he had a foot to stand on? Come on now. Get the freak out of here, bro. Devin Haney had multiple tests to prove that Ryan Garcia cheated. That's why he went to court. Because your lawyers wouldn't advise you to go to court unless they think you could win. That's how it works. But G-Tatted in the building. What's good, my brother? What's good? Shout out to him. G-Tatted said a lot of people think it doesn't matter because Frank Martin was cheated and still won his fight against Ali Rivera. Yeah, Michelle Rivera, right? Michelle Ali Rivera, right? Yes, you're right. But a lot of people are dumb because I'm no disrespect to anybody who agrees with that. But we got to understand, Joseph Parker tested positive for cocaine and he won. He lost. Tyson Fury tested positive for cocaine and he won. So, right, against Klitschko, right? And then, what's the name? Joseph Parker, he tested positive for cocaine and he lost against Fabio Worley. PEDs does not mean that it's an automatic win. If I go cheat on a test, does it depend? If a teacher catches me cheating, do they wait till they give me the results? If I pass a test and they'll say, oh, you cheated? Or am I cheating regardless? If I turn in the test and I fail the test and I cheated, I cheated. If I turn in the test and I get caught cheating and I pass the test, I cheated. If I get caught during the test and it's inconclusive how I would have done the results, right? As far as the results go, I still cheated. You're not cheating because you were successful. You cheated because you cheated. That's it. It doesn't matter whether you won or lost. It's not dependent on the results. If you cheat, you cheat. Amir Khan cheated Kell Brook. It doesn't matter that he lost. He still cheated. Margarito, if we're going to think he cheated Cotto, I think he cheated Paul Williams. He lost to Paul Williams. That doesn't mean he didn't cheat. People try to add these extra definitions because they're fucking ignorant. They're ignorant. It's called performance enhancing drugs. Drugs that enhance your performance. It's not called performance. It's not called drugs that give you an automatic win. It's not called automatic win drugs. AWD. No, it's called PED. Performance enhancing drugs. Meaning your performance, whether you win or lose, is enhanced. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. So I don't even understand. People just add extra definitions to things. You could cheat and still lose. You could cheat and still fail a test. You could cheat and still not graduate. You could cheat and still not get promoted. Well, why is cheating dependent on the result? I never understood that. You see what I'm saying? It's just because people have feelings that they want to, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I want to show you this too. Shout out to G Tatted for that, man. I like when you, I like when I get to go on those little rants. I like going on those little rants, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it. That was very provocative, man. I like that one right there. You know what I'm saying? Thought provocation, man. I love it, bro. I love it. So I want to show y'all this real quick too. And before we get to these, let's go to these predictions. I want to go to these predictions, right? I want to go to these predictions, right? I want to show you this, right? Hey, look, chat. This guy blocked me, chat. I don't even know who this is. But look, shout out to my brother Anubis in the building. I'm not saying that Devin Haney didn't have a bad performance, whatever. That's cool. You see what I'm saying? We could acknowledge things that you could change. But I want to show you this, right? I've never seen this before. And I want to show you this. This guy, Jim Karras Boxing, his name sounds familiar. I don't know who he is. But anyway, he just blocked me. And look, I just noticed he blocked me because this is how I responded to him. Because when you speak common sense, people block you. This guy blocked me. Oh, cocksucker. But anyway, let's keep. I should have said that. But yeah, so look, he said, I'm picking Norman to beat Haney. I want to be very clear, chat. I'm picking Norman to beat Haney, but we're gonna keep it going, right? He said, I'm picking Norman to beat Haney after rewatching, right? After rewatching. Then he said, Haney versus Garcia, and seeing how badly Haney reacted to Garcia's power, how much it affected him. I want to read that again. He said, I'm picking Norman to beat Haney after rewatching Haney versus Garcia and seeing how badly Haney reacted to Garcia's power and how much it affected him. I think Norman finds that fight changing shot. He's operating at an elite offensive level in his past 3 fights, and the power is real. I agree with that, right? But why he mentioned Haney versus Garcia and didn't mention the PEDs? That's telling half the story. Why do people so willingly omit that? Bro, I've seen people talk about Chris Algieri like Paulie Malignaggi and Tim Bradley. I've seen them talk about Chris Algieri when he fought Conor Benn, and they'd be like, "Hey man, you know Conor Benn cheated you, champ." But when Tim Bradley just talked about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, he doesn't mention that. Is it because you have a personal relationship with Chris Algieri and you don't have a personal relationship with Devin Haney? That's how fugazi people are, bro. That's how inconsistent they are. So I respond. So this is why he blocked me, chat. I didn't say anything. Bro, chat, when I tell you I get blocked for no reason, I'm telling you, look what I said. I didn't call this man outside of his name. I didn't curse at him. I didn't say anything. Look what I said. I said, laugh out loud. I'm picking Norman too. But as a boxing fan, I emphasize boxing fan. I guess it's what made him mad. Probably got him in his feelings. Let me unlike this video too. I only like this so I can show y'all. But he said, I'm picking Norman too. But as a boxing fan, it has little to do with his performance against a guy on PEDs. Did I say anything wrong? Did I say anything wrong, Kendrick? I said, as a boxing fan, implying that he's not really a boxing fan, so I guess he got offended by that. You know, maybe his identity is with being a fan of boxing. I don't know. Maybe that's his whole entire identity. I don't know. But anyway, I said, but as a boxing fan, I said, I'm picking Norman too, which I am. I said, but as a boxing fan, it has little to do with his performance against a guy on PED. So I guess that made him feel dumb. You see what I'm saying? I said, make sure you announced that you were rewatching. Make sure you announced that you were rewatching Galal Yafai get brutalized by a PED-filled drug cheat and Francisco Rodriguez too. And so he blocked me for that. There was no expletives used. There was no condescension used. There was no intimidating used. There was no threats used. He blocked me because I made him feel as dumb as he is. Because he made a stupid ass comment. And he put it on the public platform, so I made a response to make him realize how stupid he is. So instead of acknowledging it, he blocks me. That's what most pussies do on the internet. You see what I'm saying? So once again, I want to say, in response to him saying he's picking Norman to beat Haney because he rewatched Ryan Garcia, a guy who cheated against Devin Haney. He rewatched that fight and judged the fighter based on the guy who cheated him. I said, make sure you announce to the world how you were rewatching Galal Yafai get brutalized by a PED-filled drug cheat and Francisco Rodriguez too. Because Francisco Rodriguez beat the hell out of Galal Yafai. But you know what Galal Yafai received when he got cheated? A whole bunch of sympathy. A whole bunch of, a whole bunch of, I feel bad for Galal Yafai because you shouldn't get treated like that in boxing. How can you let somebody cheat him? That's what he received. Devin Haney gets a whole lot of finger pointing, a whole lot of memes, a whole lot of trash talk, a whole lot of weak, a whole lot of condescension, a whole lot of demeaning behavior towards him. What's the difference? I guarantee he's not waiting for Galal Yafai to rewatch Francisco Rodriguez. He's not waiting for Galal Yafai's next fight to rewatch him getting beat up by Francisco Rodriguez. It's crazy, right? It's crazy, right? The hypocrisy, right? Yeah, it's easy. You know why it is, though. You know why it is. You know why it is. Yeah. It's almost sacrilegious to show any sympathy towards the black man. I'm telling you, especially the American. But anybody else, oh yeah, you're very sympathetic. Yeah, yeah. You don't want to watch anybody else get beat up by PDs. When Chris Algieri had fights after Conor Benn. Let me stop. Shout out to Chris Algieri. I like Chris Algieri. You know what I'm saying? I'm not throwing shots at Chris Algieri. But when guys get cheated, you get cheated, bro. It don't matter. Take your feelings out of it. Like I'm picking Norman. When I pick Brian Norman to beat Devin Haney, ain't got shit to do with Ryan Garcia's performance. Devin Haney's performance against Ryan Garcia ain't got nothing to do with that. Because I actually watch boxing, I can look at other things. Because you know what? Also, I also picked Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. But once he cheated him, I don't count it because I actually like boxing. I'm actually a pugilist enthusiast. I don't get mad at people if they call me something less than a boxing fan. or imply that I'm not a true boxing fan, because in my opinion, if you're okay with anybody cheating, do you understand that they disqualified Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and other alleged cheaters for hitting a baseball while on PEDs? Do you understand that they disqualified Marion Jones, the track star, and Michael Johnson and Justin Gatlin for PED allegations? They're just running track. You understand that they disqualified the cyclist Lance Armstrong for PEDs? He's just cycling on a bike. But you're telling me, because you don't like Devin Haney, that PEDs in a combat sport where I'm actually putting my hands on somebody, PEDs don't matter. You could judge somebody off of a fight with PEDs. Like I said, I keep saying again and again and again, I've never seen anybody tell Marion Jones' opponents to run faster as to why they lost to her while she was on PEDs. Never heard it. They just said how disgusting she was for cheating, how low and how much of a scum she was for cheating, right? When Sammy Sosa was knocking home runs out the park and they found out he was on PEDs, I never heard them tell Cal Ripken Jr., I'm just throwing out pictures, Cal Ripken Jr. or Clayton Kershaw to throw the ball faster. I've never heard them say, oh, you should have pitched better. They just said, no, this guy was cheating. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa was cheating, right? I never heard them say, oh, Lance Armstrong's opponents should have stood up while they were pedaling on the Tour de France. They should have pedaled harder. They should have wore better shoes. They should have practiced more to beat a guy that was cheating in Lance Armstrong. Oh, but Devin Haney. In fact, let me keep it going. Let's go to boxing. I've never heard anybody say that Miguel Cotto should have fought better against Margarito, who cheated him. I never heard anybody say, oh, well, Triple G should have fought Canelo anyway because Canelo was cheating him. They still call Canelo a cheater to this day for not cheating a guy in the actual fight, but he was cheating during the preparation in the training camp, which he proved that it was accidental. But anyway, people don't let him live that down, right? Oh, but Ryan Garcia, it's okay that he cheated Devin Haney. And in fact, we're still going to hold that fight against him. In fact, we're still going to say that, oh, Devin Haney needs to get it back, even though Ryan Garcia lost his subsequent fight with Rolly Romero. It's just funny, man. You tell me what I'm supposed to think. You tell me what I'm supposed to think the reason is. Also, too, man, check out the newsletter. The newsletter just dropped today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go check it out. Issue number 2, talking about power and what power is more than just being strong. Power is about timing. Power is about setting somebody up. Power is about IQ. Power is about delivery. Go check out the breakdown with Doc's Corner. You know what I'm saying? The newsletter, issue number 2, dropped today, every Wednesday, once a week at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Check out the newsletter. You will enjoy it if you really enjoy boxing. But if you want them fanboys or fangirls that want to get impregnated by your favorite boxer, then it ain't for you. You know what I'm talking about? Keep that whole shit on Twitter. Shout out to Doc Capehart. He said Cal Ripken wasn't a pitcher. Hey, I don't watch baseball, man. I don't watch baseball. Cal Ripken Jr. wasn't a pitcher? That's crazy. Well, Clayton Kershaw was. Hey, I 1 for 2, man. I got one of them right. Hell, you know what I'm saying? I got one of them right. I thought Cal Ripken Jr. was a pitcher, man. That's crazy. Hey, shout out to Doc Capehart. Hey, I could have sworn Cal Ripken Jr. was a pitcher, bro. That's crazy. But anyway, they don't blame the pitchers for somebody cheating. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. We got to stop blaming Devin Haney. But with that being said, let's get into the predictions, man. Like I said, I'm picking Norm. I want to show you this too, because that's a dumb fan on against Haney, right? That's the anti-Haney fan. But I want to show you this. This is why I love who we are, right? You get sound wild with that one. I want to show you who we are, though, right? I want to show you another comment. This guy, I don't know who this is. This is a stupid comment on that's pro Haney. The other one was a stupid comment anti-Haney. This comment is a stupid comment anti-Norman. He says the weight cut is kicking Norman's ass. He's going to jump rope his damn legs off. He's going to jump rope until his legs fall off. Huh? He's going to jump rope till his legs fall off because the weight cut is killing him? What? So let me get this straight. So if Brian Norman was just chilling and not training, you would say that he's not appreciating the moment and that he's ill prepared. And now he's doing the common thing as, bitch, I jump rope. I just jump rope 2 days ago. And I'm not a professional athlete preparing for a fight. What's wrong with jump rope? You could that just lets me know that people just make up anything, bro. Like, you got to be one super unathletic son of a bitch to think that jump roping is gonna be a detriment. Like, if he was jump roping an hour before the fight, maybe, but it's cardio, bro. Like, what do you think jump roping is? The fight, he could jump rope for 3 hours straight today and be all right until Saturday. What are we talking about? Just say that you going for Devin Haney. It's okay, bro. But if your reason that Norman's going to lose is because he's jump roping, Norman's going to lose because he's jump roping?
What?
Bro, that's why I thank God for who I am, man. You got to thank God for the little things, man. You got to thank God for who you are, people. Because if you have common sense ain't too common. Like, I'm going for Norman, but I'm not saying things that, oh, it doesn't matter that Ryan Garcia cheated him, like that dummy, sensitive little peon that blocked me. And I'm going, and I think Devin Haney, I think it's a 50-50 fight. And I think Devin Haney is good, but it's not because Brian Norman is jump rope. It's not because he's jump roping. What? And when I saw them, it looked like Brian Norman was all right. Brian Norman's been at 147, bro. So I think Devin Haney's going to make the cut as well. But if I had to put money on anybody making weight, it would be the guy that's a champion in the division in which they're fighting in. Devin Haney's new to 147, not Brian Norman. I've never seen has Brian Norman missed weight before, Thomas? Shawa has educate me, please. Enlighten me, please. Did Brian Norman miss weight against Derek Cuevas? Did Brian Norman miss weight against Giovanni Santillan? Did he miss weight against Quentin Randall? Did he miss weight? I'm seriously asking, did he miss weight against Jin Sasaki? I didn't know weight was a concern for Brian Norman. I never heard about that until now. So what I'm saying is that if he hasn't missed weight and he's fighting in the same division and most things are still consistent, then you're just making shit up. There's plenty of reasons to pick Devin Haney without making shit up. Like, Devin Haney, I think, is a superior boxer. I think he has a superior... Let me rephrase that. Not saying he's a superior boxer in everything. I think he's more skilled. Like, the superior technique and fundamentals, I would go with Devin Haney. That's why I think it's a 50-50 fight. In fact, I think all the fights... I ain't going to say all of them, but the majority of them are 50-50. Like, I think Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason is 50-50. I think Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez is more 60-40 in favor of Bam, in my personal opinion, but that's also a good fight. Both champions, undefeated. You see what I'm saying? So that's close to 60-40 is close enough to 50-50. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Yard and David Benavidez, I would say another one that's like 60-40 in favor of Benavidez, just because of his pedigree, and, you know, he's undefeated, and he looks good in almost all of his fights, you know, practically all of his fights, right? Essentially all of his fights, yeah. And then Anthony Yard has some hiccups here and there, but that's still a good fight. But to me, Devin Haney and Brian Norman is a 50-50 fight. And I say that not because I think it's going to be 50-50 in the ring. It's like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. I thought that was a 50-50 fight going in. I had Floyd Mayweather. But I also said, don't be surprised if this is a wash and Floyd Mayweather makes it look easy and it's almost boring. And it was almost a boring fight. But I think people got to remember that they fight in the squared circle. They don't fight on their resumes. They don't fight in paper. They don't fight online. They don't fight on Twitter. They fight in the ring. So just because a fight can be 50-50 going in on paper, which I think this fight is, that doesn't mean that it's going to look like that in the ring. I think that either Brian Norman's going to dominate or Devin Haney's going to dominate. I don't think it's going to look like a 50-50 fight in the ring. I don't think it's going to look like a war, like an even fight like Beterbiev and Bivol. I don't think that the contrast I don't think it's going to show like that. I think another 50-50 fight on paper is Shakur. I ain't going to say 50-50. I would say I'll say 55-45 in favor of Shakur. I'll say 60. Okay, I'll say 60-40. But I think Teofimo versus Shakur is closer than what people think. Like, I see a lot of people picking Shakur. I'm picking Shakur, but I think it's a 50-50. I don't think it's going to look like a 50-50 in the ring. I think that fight could potentially be boring too. I think Shakur could wash him. But if Teofimo could beat him up, then you see what I'm saying? It would be like that. So I think with Brian Norman and Devin Haney, I don't think Brian Norman has to knock out Devin Haney. And I think Devin Haney could drop Brian Norman. I don't know if he could stop him, but if you could drop somebody, then you could probably stop him too. But I think that Devin Haney, if the skill gap is as wide as some people think, like with Brian Norman being, people thinking he's flat-footed and pressure, he hasn't demonstrated that, right? Then Devin Haney could hit him with a couple shots that he doesn't see, which is why I dropped the issue today about everybody having power. Everybody doesn't have Deontay Wilder devastating power. Everybody doesn't have Gervonta Tank Davis devastating power, Beterbiev devastating power. But everybody has enough power to put you on your ass if you don't see the punch coming, if you fall into a trap. Did Errol Spence get knocked out by Terrence Crawford? No, but he got beat up. But he got up every time. In fact, the referee stopped it. He wanted to keep going. So he wasn't unconscious. Meaning what I'm saying is that I don't think that Terrence Crawford hit him with any shots that were debilitating or you know what I'm saying, or make you short circuit or cut your lights off. He kept getting up. But every punch that Terrence Crawford hit him with essentially had power because of the timing, because of he caught him when he wasn't expecting it. You see what I'm saying? He caught him when he was off balance. Even the first knockdown was from a jab. Errol Spence was just off balance. He wasn't hurt. Same with Devin Haney, what he did to Regis Prograis. Rougarou, he wasn't hurt, but he put him on his back pockets, didn't he? So that could absolutely happen with Brian Norman. And if Brian Norman can't take shots like that, and he keeps getting hit with shots that he's blindsided by, the fight could get stopped. So this, do I think that Devin Haney's going to stop him? No, I don't even think Devin Haney's going to beat him. I'm going with Brian Norman. But on the flip side, Brian Norman doesn't have to knock out Devin Haney either. He could, look what, did Cinnamon knock out Jermell Charlo? No, but he turned the lion into a pussycat essentially and made him surrender the rest of the fight. I could see something like that happening with Devin Haney and Brian Norman. Brian Norman could just hit him with that act right and make Devin Haney not want to engage anymore and basically survive. And that could be a way that he could win the decision. Or with Brian Norman having a hell of a jab, people underestimate his skills as well. He could jab with Brian Norman and get there faster. Especially with Devin Haney using the bow and arrow jab. Sometimes that, you know what I'm saying, makes you a little exposed and makes you a little longer to get there. But I will say Devin Haney fights at range better than Brian Norman. But what if Brian Norman's so good because he jump ropes? Because jump roping is cardio and it helps you with your footwork, right? But I don't expect people to know that don't have any athleticism about them, any inclination to be athletic. But anyway, jump roping helps with your footwork. Because you could do different types of jump roping. You could do 1 foot jump roping. You could do skipping jump roping. You could do 2 foot side to side jump roping. You could do double jump rope. It helps with your footwork as well, in addition to your cardio. So what if his footwork is better than we thought and he just, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to walk him down. What if he could jab him faster? And I think Brian Norman has I think his reach is slightly longer than Devin Haney's. But like I said, we're used to seeing Devin Haney fight longer with more range and Brian Norman choose to exchange. But just because somebody does something doesn't mean that they're incapable of not doing something else. A lot of people conflate those things. You know what I'm saying? I could do something. That doesn't mean that I'm incapable of doing something else. You see what I'm saying? Just because Steph Curry shoots threes all day doesn't mean he can't dunk. We don't see him dunk often. He doesn't dunk often. That doesn't mean he's incapable of doing it, right? We don't see Giannis shoot threes often. He's mostly in the post, but that doesn't mean he's incapable of doing it if you leave him butt-ass naked open behind the three-point arc. We seen Giannis hit a couple threes. Hell, we see Dwight Howard hit a couple threes. Hell, we see Shaq hit a couple threes. We don't see them doing it at a normal basis, but don't confuse that with being incapable of doing it. Now, that could be a bad example as well because we're saying that, you know, you can't do it at a high level, but hey, maybe, you know what I'm talking about? Maybe he might hit a three, you know what I'm talking about? And the opportunity presents itself. So I personally go with Brian Norman. I think that Brian Norman, in addition to his power, I think he has good timing and setup as well. And I also think that I'm not sure that Devin Haney has a higher fight IQ than Brian Norman. I know a lot of people have been saying that because it's easy to say. And it's easy to kind of defend that, I guess, and justify that position. But I think Brian Norman, we get so enamored and infatuated with his knockout of Jin Sasaki that, like I said, it wasn't a coincidence that the first issue with Doc's Corner was on footwork. The second issue was on power, right? Because I was setting it up for Brian Norman versus Devin Haney, things to look out for. Devin Haney's footwork could potentially leave Brian Norman powerless. And Brian Norman's timing could potentially put him in a position where he doesn't have to hit Devin Haney with a power shot to do some damage. You see what I'm saying? How many times do you see people get knocked out or get hurt by punches that don't even look like they were thrown hard? That's what Brian Norman could do. So I think we underestimate, you know, like if he just had power, he's not knocking out Jin Sasaki like that. It was a setup. And he even talks about it, but people hear what they want to hear. If you watch his interviews, he talks about how he set that up, how he noticed it in like 2 rounds prior to when he actually hit him in the 5th, I believe it was. Don't quote me. I'm not looking at it, but I think he knocked him out in the 5th. But if it's just power, you're not going to win, bro. You got to set them up, especially to land a devastating shot like that. So yeah, man, you gotta stop. That's why it always annoys me when people talk about Deontay Wilder. Oh, all he has is power. You think a strong man is doing that to people? It's not just power. Like, don't get me wrong, Deontay Wilder is also another guy that doesn't have the best fundamentals. He started boxing late, but his athleticism and his power delivery, you know what I'm saying, is what got him through until he got to Tyson Fury. So, you know, it's timing, bro. You could throw punches all day and miss. So I think it's I just think it shows a lack of appreciation of these of these warriors that also double as strategists. And it's even harder to there's a reason why back in the old days you would see strategists be behind their army, right? Strategizing or in their tent, and the warriors and the soldiers be out there fighting, right? Well, sometimes you got to think on the battlefield as well. And those were the great ones. That's what these fighters are doing. So when you see a guy that could adapt in fights, like a Gervonta Tank Davis, who we've seen signs of him adapt. We've seen Usyk adapt. We've seen Bud adapt. We've seen Canelo adapt. Everybody's not capable of that. What do we say about Teofimo? We say that he's not good not because, oh, some days he's good and some days he's not. No, it's because he lacks the ability to adapt. His adaptation skills are trash. Shakur is another one that could adapt very well. So if you can't adapt, means that you're not really thinking out there. And no disrespect to Devin Haney, but now Lomachenko, a lot of people think he's a great fighter, right? 18-3. Yeah, whatever. But Lomachenko, I'll say he's a Hall of Famer, right? I give him that. But what did we say about the Lomachenko fight? He didn't adapt. Right. And that's why you go back into his corner, which I thought was very ill of them to go in the corner. I can't remember what round it was, but Devin Haney was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. he wasn't panicking like that, but he was just telling Bill Haney, you know, he was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So can he adapt? I think he can adapt, though. I think he can adapt. But how great is his adaptation skills? You know, and I think that sometimes we get so infatuated with the knockouts that we don't notice some of the strategy that goes into it. You know, even with Tank versus Frank, we saw him strategize. You know what I'm saying? Even Lamont Roach wasn't against Tank. I thought Lamont Roach's strategy was good, and you know, we overlooked these things. You see what I'm saying? He was sitting in the pocket, getting close to Tank, and not letting him deliver the power shot that he likes to, or even be able to set up the power shots. He just made it uncomfortable. You know, so yeah, we got to look at those things as well. Better even than the cashes to some folks. You feel me? Wait. He said better even the cashes to some folks. Who's the Cassius Clay to some folks? Yeah, Cassius Clay. Yeah, shout out to Muhammad Ali, another one that could adapt very well. Dimitri Bivol, I thought that he adapted very well. You know, in certain fights. You know who also adapts very well? I mean, you can't go up so many weight classes and not be able to adapt. Shout out to Roberto Duran. You know, there's a lot of fighters that adapt. Tyson Fury, he adapted. That's how he won the war with Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? The Gypsy King of obesity. You know what I'm talking about? With his cocaine sniffing ass. That boy be on that booger sugar. So yeah, man, people adapt, man. And we gotta that's what these guys do. Naoya Inoue, he's another one that adapts. You see what I'm saying? You know who didn't adapt? Go back and look at that. Go back and look at that fight. And when people say, "Oh well, you know, Ramon Cardenas is good," I like Ramon Cardenas, but he definitely did not adapt. He kept spamming the same left hook after he dropped Naoya Inoue one time, and Naoya Inoue just timed him. And he adapted. Ramon Cardenas did not, because it shows his level or lack of level in comparison to a great. And that's why I always say that was not a good fight. I don't care. He just, you know what I'm saying? So you might like Naoya Inoue. I like Naoya Inoue too, but I'm not going to say that, oh, that's a great fight. He fought a mediocre guy. He kept spamming left hooks like it was a video game. Go watch the fight. There's no adaptation. You feel me? That to me, that's IQ. So we'll see what Brian Norman does, man. Brian Norman, I have Brian Norman winning. I think that I do think, like I said, I honestly do think Devin Haney could drop him. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Devin Haney could potentially even wash him. I think Brian Norman is going to show that he could still go above and beyond. Like, I don't think what we've seen against Boca Chica or Quentin Randall was the same Brian Norman that we see now. You know, he's still a young guy, and sometimes you go through phases where you exponentially improve. And sometimes you do peak. I don't think he's at his peak yet. Devin Haney, I think his peak is better than Brian Norman's. I would say his peak was like, hopefully like a Regis Prograis. I think he's at his peak. I don't know. Maybe he can show us another level today. This opportunity, right? I mean, not today, but Saturday, right? I think that Devin Haney at his peak, from what we've seen, is better than Brian Norman at his peak. But I just think Brian Norman is going to show us more. I don't know if Devin Haney can show us more, but we'll see, man. But I can see Devin Haney. In my personal opinion, I think that Devin Haney is going to control it for about the first 3 or 4 rounds. And then Brian Norman is going to start to adapt, and he's going to start to time him, and he's going to start to put pressure on him, as far as not just pressure as in like physically walking him down, but mental pressure. You see what I'm saying? I think they're going to exchange a couple jabs a couple times, and I think that Brian Norman is going to get the better of the exchanges. And I do think Brian Norman, I'll say by round 7 or 8, will have a strong handle on the fight if it's not over yet. But I don't think that, if it ends in a knockout, that's the only way Brian Norman can win. And if it goes to the decision, that's the only way Devin Haney could win. I don't see it like that, man. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez, mi hermano Carnal, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you. He said, Oscar Perez says, Lomachenko Hall of Fame, crazy take. Let me know when I can call it. I got you, bro. I'm going to go through these predictions because I'm going to post them for the members only. And then I'm going to let you call in. So Brian Norman, the co-main event, and Devin Haney, I think is a great fight, 50-50 on paper. I think this is why it's so great. You know, I'm going with Brian Norman, but I think that they have clear advantages and disadvantages when it comes to their comparison to each other. Their compare and contrast is crazy. You know, Devin Haney has the advantage when it comes to boxing skills and footwork. Brian Norman has the advantage when it comes to exchanging and power. Devin Haney has a disadvantage when it comes to chin, but he might have the advantage when it comes to defense. If you talk about mobility and evasiveness, Brian Norman may have the advantage as far as durability goes, but he may have a disadvantage as far as getting hit and evasiveness goes. You see what I'm saying? So to me, they have clear advantages and clear disadvantages. This is a great fight. Salute to both of them for making the fight. You don't have to, gosh dang, diminish the other one to prop up the other one. In fact, I love seeing 50-50 fights, and I love saying fights are 50-50 because that makes me more prone to give the other fight, the winner, the credit that they deserve. If Brian Norman goes out and beats Devin Haney, makes it look easy, he still gets credit because Devin Haney's great. Undisputed, youngest male undisputed champion, the youngest undisputed champion in all the boxing is Gabriela Fedor, one time for the ladies. But he's still the youngest male undisputed champion. That's a great win. If Devin Haney beats Brian Norman, he at his fight at welterweight, some people say his debut, his last fight was a catchweight with Jose Carlos Ramirez at 144. So some people look at that as anything above 140 is welterweight. Depends on how you look at it. But anyway, this is his debut at 147 specifically. So some people look at this as his first welterweight fight, and he goes and fights the best champion at welterweight, and he beats him. I mean, nobody thinks that the WBC champion Mario Barrios is the best at 147, right? I like him a lot, but nobody thinks he's the best. No one thinks that the IBF Lewis Crocker is the best at 147. No one thinks the WBA Rolly Romero champion is the best, right? They think Brian Norman. So if Devin Haney beats him, that's a great win. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to them. That's why this card's so great. But I'm going Brian Norman, and I have to put a stamp on it. I'm going Brian Norman, 8th round stoppage. That's what I'm picking, man. Brian Norman, 8th round stoppage, man. Norman in 8. So the next fight is what? Let's go with Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez. I actually think this is going to be the fight of the night because, like I said, I think Brian Norman and Devin Haney's 50-50, but I don't think, on paper, I don't think it's going to be 50-50 in the ring. I think someone's going to dominate the other one. Puma Martinez and Bam Rodriguez, the 115-pound junior bantamweight championship fight, unification fight. This gonna be a banger, bro. I think Puma Martinez, both of them undefeated. The Argentine going against the American Bam Rodriguez. They're both undefeated, both big punchers, both very complete fighters. Especially Bam Rodriguez. I think he's more skillful, more technical, more technically sound than Puma. Puma's more of a brawler than the two, but Bam Rodriguez is definitely not opposed to brawling. You know what I'm saying? Brawling with you. We seen him do that and get in trouble a little bit with Juan Francisco Estrada, you know, El Gallo, the Rooster. So I'm going, I think this is gonna be a very contentious fight. I think it's going to be very similar to what Fumuledi Cafu, the South African former WBO champion, was when Bam Rodriguez fought him. And shout out to Bam Rodriguez, by the way. A lot of people said that they think Estrada was his hardest fight. He said, no, Fumuledi Cafu was my hardest fight. And that's how I know people don't watch boxing, man. Because they just going off the fact that El Gallo dropped Bam Rodriguez. That was a flash knockdown. When Bam Rodriguez dropped Gallo, those were the real knockdowns. Estrada, shout out to Estrada. He's a legend, right? And he's a great fighter. But if you watch the fight, you saw those flash knockdowns. Fumuledi Cafu was more competitive up until he wasn't. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Bam Rodriguez. I watched the interview where he said Fumuledi Cafu was his hardest fight. But I do think that Bam Rodriguez, with that experience and stuff like that, shout out to Puma Martinez. He fought Kazuta Ioka, who's another great fighter. But I just think that the run that Bam Rodriguez is on, don't be surprised for upset, But I'm going with Bam Rodriguez. I'm going with Bam Rodriguez a 10-round stoppage. So I'm going Bam by TKO. I don't think he's gonna put him to sleep. But I think it's gonna be a TKO again. I got Bam in 10, man. Shout out to Anubis. Anubis says Bam by KO. Yeah, I got Bam in 10. Now let's go with Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes for the vacant WBO title at 135. This is a great fight, man. Sam Noakes is a very big puncher. I don't really have much to say about him. I think he picks his timing well, but I'm gonna be honest. He hasn't really fought. I mean, neither one of them have really fought stiff competition, so that's why this fight is great. Abdullah Mason is younger. Sam Noakes, he's more mature as far as body goes, body maturation. I'm not talking about mentally. Abdullah Mason is one of the most mature young men in the game, man. Shout out to him. He's very eloquent, articulate, and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. And that's why I think he's going to win. I think he's going to show his skill and his intelligence in the ring. I think his punch placement is going to be a little better than Sam Noakes. I think Sam Noakes will catch you if you brawl with him. I don't think Abdullah Mason is going to brawl with him unless he wants to, and I don't think he has to. You see what I'm saying? So I think Abdullah Mason is just going to be too technically sound, too fast, too sharp. I think he's going to pick Sam Noakes apart, but I don't think it's going to be a stoppage. I think he's going to win by decision. So I'm going with Abdullah Mason by decision, but don't sleep on Sam Noakes, man. Sam Noakes, like I said, Abdullah Mason did get dropped, but he got dropped by a guy with an 85% KO ratio. And Johan Vasquez, big puncher, man. He got the booty cut. You remember he got the booty. Anybody got the booty cut as a boxer, they got some power. You know what I'm talking about? He got the booty cut. So that should tell you everything right there. So there's no shame as a young prospect getting dropped by Vasquez. So and he recovered and he dropped him and won. He stopped him. So I'm going with Abdullah Mason, but Sam Noakes is a very good fight. And it's a great fight, great timing for both of them. Either one of them lose, they could both bounce back. I think Sam Noakes, if he loses, it'll be a little bit easier for him to bounce back, considering how much British UK fighters get supported. I think it'll be a little harder for Abdullah Mason to bounce back, but he can because he's still young. I think he's 21, 22, so 21 years old. So I got Mason by decision over Sam Noakes, man. Abdullah Mason as the new WBO vacant lightweight title holder. Abdullah Mason by UD. That's what I'm thinking, in my personal opinion. Now we got the main event. David Benavidez defended his light heavyweight title for the WBC against the Lions in the Camp, Anthony Yarde, man. It's going to be a good fight, man. I think this is going to be David Benavidez's first legitimate light heavyweight fight. And I'm not saying that to say that I'm not saying Morrell or Vazik's illegitimate, but Alexander Vazik was off of a little hiatus, right? He came back, had 3 little tune-ups, and then fought David Benavidez, right? But he was out for a sabbatical. You know what I'm talking about? He was gone for a little bit. And then David Morrell was moving up just like David Benavidez. That was only a second fight in light heavyweight. These are great fights, but I'm just saying these are why I'm considering Anthony Yarde as the first bona fide, legitimate light heavyweight that David Benavidez is fighting. I'm not saying that to be in a disrespectful manner. With that being said, Anthony Yarde has a stigma of losing his big fights, right? Like what they say about Cinnamon. But I think this one's actually true. I think Anthony Yarde, unlike Cinnamon's, I think this is actually true. Cinnamon didn't lose all his big fights. Just the fights that he lost were big. He didn't lose all his big. He had other big fights. But I do think that Anthony Yarde has lost all of his big fights. But it's not much. It's one with Sergey Kovalev, and the other one was Artur Beterbiev. There's no shame in losing those fights. Especially with Beterbiev being a former undisputed light heavyweight. I think Beterbiev beats Benavidez. I think Bivol beats Benavidez. But they're great fights, right? So what I'm saying is Anthony Yarde losing to Beterbiev doesn't mean much, in my personal opinion. And losing to Alexander Kovalev at the time, he was a champion. He wasn't at his peak, but he was still a champion. I don't really think there's too much shame. Anthony Yarde is has limited experience. He did have a trilogy. He has another loss with Lyndon Arthur. He had a trilogy to where he avenged his loss, and beat him twice, right? He beat Anthony Yarde beat Lyndon Arthur twice. He lost once, right? By decision. I do think that Anthony Yarde is at a disadvantage when it comes to boxing fundamentals. And I would say some other things like IQ and stuff like that, and just experience. But I don't know about IQ. I would say IQ, because sometimes Anthony Yarde just kind of just goes until his gas tank runs out. And I think that's what's going to cause him to lose in this one. I think he's going to go, and he might even hurt David Benavidez, but can he manage it? You know what I'm saying? Can he manage his energy? Can he manage the fight? Can he manage the time? Can he manage his power delivery and his overall distribution of his efforts? You see what I'm saying? I think sometimes he just goes too much, and you got to conserve some energy. You got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. And I don't think he really quite grasps that yet. And he's a big guy, muscular guy too. So, those guys tend to get tired a little bit quicker. But we have seen David Benavidez get dropped before. You know what I'm saying? So, twice, right? And by Gavril and David Morrell. Whether you think that those were flash knockdowns, they probably were. Some people say that the Morrell one is illegitimate, like my brother Kendrick probably was. But he has touched the canvas twice before. So I have no doubt that Anthony Yarde is capable of putting him on his back pockets. But will he? We will see. I don't know. But even if he does, in my personal opinion, unless he blitzes David Benavidez and gets him out of there in some short fashion type things, I have David Benavidez even getting knocked down, still beating Anthony Yarde. I think that this fight, I think I'm going with David Benavidez. I'm going with David Benavidez in 9, man. I'm feeling David Benavidez in 9. I do think that this one might be a KO. Not that Yarde is going to be asleep on the canvas, but he may not be able to get up. You see what I'm saying? And he might get counted out while trying to get up, or even if he makes the count, like gets up at like 8 or 9, the referee waves it off. So something like that. So either way, I got I got David Benavidez. Man. David Benavidez in 9, man. In 9, man. That's just my prediction. So let's run through the predictions again. I have Norman in 8 over Devin Haney. I have Bam Rodriguez in 10 over Puma Martinez. I have Abdullah Mason by UD over Sam Noakes. And I have Benavidez in 9 over Anthony Yarde. Those are the Doc's predictions, man. Don't forget to let me know what you think about your own predictions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be live this is for the members only. So I appreciate y'all, man. That's how I give back for those being members, man. Put your money on that. If I'm wrong, don't get mad at me. I'm not that's what I would put my money on. I'm not telling you to put your money on that. So let me rephrase that. Put your money on that cautiously. You know what I'm saying? I have a pretty good track record of being right, but I'm not right all the time. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not an oracle. I'm not a prognosticator. You know what I'm talking about? I could just make my assessments based off what I see, based on the research that I do, and that's what I'm going with. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think. Hey, we got my brother Ty in the building. Big member in the building. He said 9 upside down. That's a 6 now. Shout out to Ty, man. So Ty got David at 8. Shout out to him. Man, he said November 22nd. Yeah, man, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. Shout out to Shaw. I say open workouts are on. Thank you so much for that link. I appreciate that. I'm gonna tune in. David getting knocked down. I can see David getting knocked down. Yeah, I can see it. I can see a recovery still. Even with this spot, I'm still going with him. But I like Anthony Yarde's confidence, though. I like Anthony Yarde's confidence, man. I like Anthony Yarde's confidence, for real. Let me check out those open workouts. Let me pull that up. And then now anybody could call in, man. Please call in. The lines are now open. And let me know what you think. Shout out to my brother Ty, man. I just see what you sent me, Ty. Appreciate it, bro. I just saw what you sent me. Thank you. I'm gonna check it out, man. You know I don't really rock with Buddy. But I do want to hear what Gary Anton Russell said. I like Gary Anton Russell says some silly stuff sometimes, but I do like his breakdowns, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's less about being right to me. It's more about showing me things, showing me another way to look at something. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Shawa, you know. Sometimes she'll say things that make me be like, I didn't notice that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's more about like, I really don't care about being right, to be honest. That's why I so openly give my predictions, because it just happens that I am right quite a bit, but I don't really care about being right, to be honest. I mean, I want to be right. I don't want to be wrong, but so I try my best to be right, but I don't really care. I like listening to people's different perspectives, and you know what I'm saying, maybe seeing what Tim Bradley said and seeing what he's saying, see something I don't see, or Gary Anton Russell or Ty or Shawa or Anubis, whoever it is, man. Sometimes you see stuff that you didn't see or you might have overlooked, you know. But let me pull up my brother pull up my brother Oscar. And you know what's crazy too? I see Vito Milnicki Jr. I forgot that Vito's so young, man. I gotta give him a little bit more slack, because I'd be very disappointed in Vito. But I'd be forgetting he's only like 22 or 23. He's a young bull, so I got to give Vito Milnicki a little bit more grace, man. Sometimes we forget. At least speak for myself. Sometimes I forget how young some of these guys are, man. Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez in the building, my brother. Yo. I appreciate you, bro.
I have one thing to say about one of your takes, dog.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Lomachenko Hall of Famer.
Lomachenko Hall of Famer. It's crazy. Man, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm falling victim to peer pressure, man. I'm gonna give it to him, man.
What?
I'm gonna give it to him, man. 18-3 doesn't really scream Hall of Fame, but you know, he did a lot of things, and you know, he no-mossed Nicholas Walters, who I like. You know, I like the Jamaican bad man Nicholas Axman Walters. He made him look like a weak man. I mean, you know, he no-mossed him. He gave Gary Russell Jr. his first loss. Champion multiple divisions. I would say he took some challenges. The challenges he didn't take, obviously, it was Tank and Shakur, but well, some say that, you know, Tank didn't take it early on, and then Loma didn't take it later on, so it depends on your perspective. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he lost to Loma. Who he lost to? I mean, not Loma. He is Loma. He lost to Haney. He lost to who else? T.O. And Salido, Orlando Salido. Thank you. And even Orlando Salido, people try to erase that, but Orlando Salido's a champion, so what was the second professional fight? I'm not giving him no excuse. Hey, if you think you're good enough to be a champion at second fights, that's all you. You ought to be, you know what I'm saying, fully yourself, and you get upset. But Salido was a champion, so he's not a scrub. So I don't know. I
hear what you're saying. I think those are not bad losses.
Right.
But the reason I think they're bad losses because the reason those names are not bad losses are because you're the reason they became notable in the first place.
Talk to him. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Teofimo got his name off of you. Devin got his name off of you.
Yeah. And Salido, I mean, he's very respected in Mexico because he beat who?
Lomachenko. Facts. Dropping bombs on him, chat.
But that's neither here or there. That's not
No, it's here. It's here because you know what's so funny? Well, you're right. It might be there, as in yesterday's conversation or last stream's conversation, but they say Canelo lost all his big fights. I never hear say Loma lost all his big fights. I never heard that. It's crazy.
If Canelo lost his big fights, Loma got no big fights.
Facts. 18-3 in 21 fights. The guy that has Canelo has the same amount of losses as the guy who had 21 fights. Canelo has 67 fights. And you telling me he lost all his big fights? Come on, bro.
Or that his only big fights are.
Yeah, his only big fights are lost. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro.
If that's the case, nobody has big fights nowadays.
It's crazy, bro. That's what hate does to you, man. That's what hate does to you, man. Makes you say nonsense.
Yeah. But now let's get into the juicy part. Ring 4 finally here. Finally. Seems like the wait's been forever.
Man, you ain't lying.
A bunch of 50-50 fights. I think everybody can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of questions will be answered. We're gonna be left with some more questions, but a lot of questions will be answered.
Mm-hmm.
I think one question that people are gonna be surprised on. I feel Benavidez is gonna get hurt or he's gonna get even dropped on the early round. Just on like the stylistically how Yard starts and how Benavidez starts, and he don't really got that power anymore. He was never a volume puncher. I hear that, but it's not like he's got even that respect me power. Like I don't see like honestly, and I might sound like a hater. It's just that I'm not even convinced on Benavidez wrestling. Like I'm not even convinced by it. He said he's been through all these tough matchups and he's been through all these wars. I don't disagree that they're wars or they're tough matchups, but people just remember the win. He's like anyway. He's very low. He can't do nothing wrong.
Ooh.
People only remember the wins, and it's like he beat Plant. Yes, after Canelo beat him. But you tell me Canelo got no big fights, and
come on now.
Plant was that was undisputed fight.
Yep, and I will say that. Maybe I have to think about this, but I would say if I say who's his best win, it would probably be Plant for David Benavidez.
Yeah, if you heard me, yeah. If I really think about it,
I mean, who's his best win? It's either Plant or Burrell.
But then people say like Morrell fought him too early.
Exactly.
Plant, he came after a big loss with Canelo, the undisputed loss. And then he fought Bubo Andre, which Bubo Andre, if we know, is that he's in and out of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
He might be back for 6 months and then he'd be out for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, he's one of the most undisciplined fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, he's not the boogeyman that he was at 160. So
so he moved up?
He moved up.
Oh, Lord.
So what fight is the true 50-50 between Benavidez and his opponent? I say Morrell or Plant, but then it's like, if you look at it,
I'm sorry.
if people are going to make all these assumptions about Devin Haney, Brian Norman, like the guy that blocked you just now.
Yep.
I don't know who that is, but I don't even know who that is, but fuck him. It's like,
shout out to my brother, man.
I'm going to question all these guys, and then I got to question all them guys. And Benavidez is the one with the most amount of questions for me.
No, that's legit.
I feel people are sleeping in the yard though. But like, yeah, Benavidez is like, anyway, bro, he can't do nothing wrong.
I didn't think about that, man. That's a good point, man. I mean, I do think, I know that people may not agree with me and they might see me as a Canelo fanboy or whatever, but I do think that Canelo gets a little bit too much hate for not fighting Benavidez. I would have loved that fight. Don't get me wrong. I understand people are upset, and I was upset too. I want that fight, but I can't say that he's ducking him if the mandatory was never called and he kept the belt. You know what I'm saying? So look how fast the WBC stripped Bivol when they didn't do the fight. So if they really wanted Benavidez to get the fight, how come they didn't strip Canelo? So the fact that he wasn't stripped, it means that it was never effectively mandated. So I can't. I'm just speaking on what I see and how boxing actually operates. You know what I'm saying? So of course, do I think Canelo could have fought Benavidez? Of course, he's a face of boxing. He can fight anybody. You see what I'm saying? He's a face of boxing. But I can't. I wish he would have fought him. I don't think he wants to fight him. That's clear. But I can't say that he ducked him, knowing what I know about how boxing operates.
Not only that, but what's one of the most before Canelo moved up to 168? What was the biggest criticism about 160 or 168? Benavidez has been a WBC champion how many times, Doc?
At 168?
Or like in his whole career?
Once, light heavyweight.
Well, the ring posted that he was 3 times, belt holder of the WBC. Probably interims,
Oh, interims. Okay.
That being said, how many times has he defended?
This is right. This would be his first time.
he held the belt. Biggest criticism between Plant and him, not fighting each other. Biggest point of criticism, Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fight Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like once, like I hear that he is being dug. I think.
Oh no, he
at
did.
some
He
degree
did
it's
have it.
credible.
Remember he did have it because that's why we blame. He did have it at super middleweight, and then he vacated because he got the coke. I'm tripping. Yeah, remember the coke, and so no, he had a legitimate championship at 168 WC. I'm tripping, and then he lost it, and then that's when Canelo was able to fight Plant for undisputed. I'm tripping.
If I'm not mistaken, he lost from the scale too.
Yeah, it might have been the scale too. Yep. Yeah, twice the scale and the and the booger sugar.
Like I hear that he's a monster. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I think he's very, dynamic, very come forward.
Yep.
But the fact that people talk about him like, he's the best or he just needs a chance. At what point do you draw a line? Where do you say, okay, this guy's not really proven? Because to me, you still got more questions to answer than answers. Because like what we just went through, he doesn't have that big of resume that people say he does, or that people say he has.
I agree. I mean, I I like Benavidez. I'm one of them rare folks that like Benavidez and Canelo, so I do think he's good. But no, I think you have valid points at the same time. Maybe he is a little overhyped a bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have valid points. I mean, he doesn't have. I like the Morrell win, but like you said, there's a you can say it's a little early for Morrell. I like the Vazdik win, but people could say that he was a former champion, he wasn't looking the same. So yeah, and then Dimitri Bouandre, that's a good win, but he moved up, and he definitely liked the smaller guy. So yeah, I mean, I feel you.
The only other fight I can think of that were like really, really intriguing. I mean, they all are. This is a 50-50 card for me. Like Jar Benavidez, I think Benavidez is gonna win, but Jar has a very good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Norman, Devin Haney, I feel like I agree 100% with what you said. I feel there's people hating on Haney too much, but I also see people diminishing Norman too much. It's like it's just a good fight, and that's where the thing comes is like a lot of questions will be answered. We're gonna be left with a lot of questions because somebody's got to lose from that fight.
Yep.
I think it goes to decision. I don't necessarily say that Devin Haney is gonna win just because he's going long distance. I just think that Norman's gonna get dropped, not because he's wobble or hurt, and that's where I agree with you. I just think like he's gonna get caught between punches,
Yep. An imbalance.
Like that, like he won't be able to start. That's what I'm feeling. Like he won't be able to start his game, and by the time he starts, it's gonna be too late.
It's too late to apologize. It's a fact. I can see that too.
Bam and Puma, probably to me, fight of the night. That's got fight of the year written all over it. He's too rugged, like you said. He's got the experience for sure. And I think he's fought better opposition than Bam, but Bam has fought more names.
Yep, agreed.
You
and like even in the interview, they said
Ty in the building.
It was like, oh yeah, Guy Estrada, was that your toughest matchup? Like no, Cafu was, because he recognizes that Estrada wasn't
the same
guy
right
that people say he was.
Right.
But no, like I just think Bam has his skill, but Puma can make it rough, and that's how he beat Ioka.
Yep.
And
twice.
That's not an easy feat.
Nope.
That's not an easy feat for me.
Nope. Not easy at all, man.
Yeah, that's it for me though.
I appreciate it, man.
Ty.
Yeah, chill. We chilling today, man. Shout out to my brother Ty in the building, man. Bodega Ty in the building. What's good, brethren?
Man, I keep hearing all this Floydism talk from Devin Haney to Brian Norman Jr. Talking about his levels to this. He's a C+ fighter. He ain't fought nobody.
Mm-hmm.
People sitting here doing resume checks between the two guys.
Mm-hmm.
But why aren't they doing that for the rest of the card?
Come on now.
I think Sam Noakes is on fraud watch. I
Ooh,
think Sam Noakes is about to get stopped in
ooh.
10.
Damn.
In 10?
He had some decent scraps. He
I'm
looked
sorry.
good on tape against, you
I
know,
second that.
UK club level guys.
That's a fair assessment.
Opinion.
And then you can pull up tapes of him getting touched up by journeyman.
Uh-oh.
It's a man with 60 L's that put hands and feet on him.
Wait, you said how many?
He had a 60 piece in the L category.
60? He out there looking like Dale Aerosmith?
Mm-hmm. Everybody likes to scrutinize Abdullah Mason, talking about how he got hit with the dude with the drop top stag.
Mm.
But he was fighting competition early. Something that you really don't see in other promotions with some of their upstarts.
I'm glad you brought up Johan Bosco. I wanted to ask y'all this. If Abdullah beats Snowden, he's going to be the guy with the most hype, I think, around his name. But is he the best fighter that Abdullah's faced? And if Noakes beat Abdullah, that's going to be his best name, period. But if Abdullah beats Noakes, is that the best fighter he faced?
I would say so, but I think that I think what Ty said, like you have more of it's more of you would consider other guys more than you would consider other guys for Sam Noakes. Because you remember he fought, who was his last fight? Nakatilia? For Nakatia, thank you. Yeah, Jeremiah Nakatia. That's who Abdullah Mason just fought. That's, you know what I'm saying? So there's let me look up Sam Noakes' record. I don't think he has like a Nakatia type guy. Sam Noakes, that is. So I agree with what I mean. Ryan Walsh isn't. I know Ryan Walsh.
Guys, period.
No, I think Ty has a great point. So and yeah, what you followed up with, Oscar, I think yeah, it's like, is Sam Noakes the best? I mean, I think most people would say yes, especially with recency bias. But you have to think about it, you know what I'm saying? But with Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason is for sure definitively the best that he's faced. I forgot about Manuel Jaime's Abdullah Mason fought too. You know, that's another guy that we know.
A bigger guy too.
Nah,
I
that was
think
good.
any of Abdullah's 4 or 5 opponents could easily be Noakes' best win.
Yeah.
I mean, even Johan Bosco, as far as much people.
Yeah, facts. Johan Vasquez, yeah.
It's a right haircut, but you know, he's still an impressive win.
Yep. No, you're right about that. Hey, give me a quick second. Shout out to my brother Breakdown Analytics, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Thank you so much for the dollar, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get me a little. What costs $1 these days? Junior bacon cheeseburger, something like that. I ain't eat no fast food in a long time. Shout out to my brother Oster in the building. I miss my brother Oster. He said, what'd you say? Doc, please stop putting Bud name with Jake Paul. What did I do, bro? I didn't know, Bryce. I didn't put Bud's name with Jake Paul. Jake Paul said that he offered Bud to fight, and Bud accepted. One of the few guys that did, him, AJ, and somebody else. We see my brother Oster's behind. He about 45 minutes behind. He talking about the code stuff. Shout out to my brother Oster, man. My guy.
Man, Oster better chill. He can't say nothing about pairing Bud's name with anybody, because he tried to pair Boots with his movement with Tank. They not the same dude.
That's a fact. Now, you know, I like Javante, man, but Boots is I said Javante moves how I would say it for me now. Javante moves like a star, man. Like you know, even AJ's as big of a star, right? But AJ chases smoke. I can't well, at least lately, you know what I'm saying? If you want to, I saw some people say this. I want to know what Ty's opinion on this is after I done. But I think like Tank moves like a guy that's more accomplished than what he is, you know, at least lately. And maybe, and like we said, we got him. He said he doesn't want to box anymore, so it's that. But yeah, I think Boots is moving like a guy that wants to fight for legacy and stuff right now. It's just happy he's just not getting it. I mean, he already got it. We just don't give him credit for it at welterweight, and then now he's not able to get it. But I do have a question for Ty. I saw somebody say this. They said, "Oh, AJ didn't have a problem getting off of the zone for Jake Paul, but when it came to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, though, he couldn't get off of the zone." What you think about that? I got an opinion on that, but what you think?
So this is promotional business, right? The zone is still being included with it.
Facts.
And they had to pay a steep fee to get him to come off that platform.
Facts.
Was PBC offering that? No.
Right.
They were trying to send Deontay to him.
Right.
And then said, "Oh, I don't think y'all had the funds." You can always look back and see that. Anything else is pretty much revisionist history.
Which we practice a lot as boxer fans, don't we? Smoochie in the building. Smoochie said, "Hey, Ty." Hey, Ty. Head ass.
Hey, Smoochie.
One time for the ladies. Smoochie, did you enjoy the article? Did you read it yet? Y'all read the newsletter? Did y'all enjoy it? Just a question for everybody in the chat, but I do want to respond to Ty. That's exactly the angle. You know what I'm saying? Me and Ty don't always agree. We agree a lot. Same with me and Oscar. We agree a lot. We don't always agree, but I like how we converse, man. You know, but I happen to agree with Ty 1,000%. That's exactly what I said, and that's what I thought. You know, it's different times. You know, it's different times. I'm not saying, like I said, I was very hard on AJ back then. I used to blame AJ immediately. I mean, admittedly, excuse me. I used to blame AJ because he didn't fight Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. If you ask me right now, who do I think is more to blame? I would say it's still more AJ, but I'm a little bit more receptive to what Ty just said. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see, you know, because I admittedly back then I wasn't as into the X's and O's of boxing. What I mean by that, just like the game plans of boxing, not from the fighters, but from the sanctioning bodies, the broadcasters, promoters. Now I'm more hip to it, so I agree with Ty 1,000%. I think just because DAZN agreed to something now doesn't mean they were in a position to agree to something then. It doesn't even mean that they were even open to negotiations at all, or maybe the other people weren't in a position to even offer what Netflix has offered. Like, this is Jake Paul, bro. Jake Paul doesn't follow the rules of boxing, man. He just fought a 60-year-old, bro. He was about to be he's a cruiserweight, about to fight a lightweight, bro. This is not the same thing. So that sounds good, and it's a conversation starter, a debate starter, with saying that AJ got out of the zone to fight Jake Paul, but didn't do it for Tyson Fury or what's my other guy's name? Deontay Wilder. But we also have to realize too that just like we're fans, we don't see Jake Paul as a real fighter. The promoters don't. They see him as an anomaly too. So the amounts of money that they make, you know what I'm saying, for the easy night is different, bro. So I think it's very disingenuous and inaccurate to compare AJ and Jake Paul to AJ and Fury or AJ and Wilder. Like, I understand the correlation they're making, but I think that's very shallow, surface level thinking, in my opinion. So I agree with Ty 1,000%.
Dog, why do people accept that AJ Paul fight, but when it came to Tank, they were like, "This is a disgrace"? I didn't think it was a good fight, but calling it a disgrace and, "Oh, what the hell are you doing? This is the worst thing since Pacquiao Mayweather." Fight-wise, you know, that fight. When you said almost boring, that shit was boring. I think everybody knows. But it's like, whenever it came to Tank and AJ, I mean, Tank and Paul, they were having more problem accepting it than they are now with AJ.
I to be honest, I understand having more problems with Tank than AJ. I think you should, just because of the size. But like I said, I don't see it as real fights. I don't care who he fighting. You know, I prefer for him not to be fighting any of these guys. But, you know, shout out to MVP too, you know, because, hey, they just hit me up with an email about coming to the press conference. So, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jay, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jake at the same time. You feel me? It's like, I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not going to call it a real fight. But like I said, I'm a type of person, which I'm sure that you are as well, Oscar and Ty. Like, I can appreciate the fights on the undercard. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm really more excited for. I could go for that fight to see AJ and Jake Paul, but I'm really more hyped to see Gary Anton Russell. I'm more excited to see versus Andy Hiroka. I'm more excited to see Alicia Baumgartner versus Leia Badoin. Shout out to Smoochie. Said, okay, I appreciate it. So I didn't get it. You didn't get it? To your email?
I didn't get it either. No, I didn't get it either.
You didn't get it either? You subscribed and you didn't get it? No, Smoochie said she got it. She said, wait, I did get it. Okay, bet. It should go to your email.
Let me check.
Yeah, I got it on both my emails.
Hey, let's go, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, ain't no pressure to read it, though. I'm not trying to pressure you, but if you do read it, if you're interested, check it out and let me know. Any suggestions? Like, I was thinking about adding, maybe putting some predictions in there or dropping. I was thinking about dropping some breaking news in there as well, which, of course, is what I'm planning on doing, but there wasn't anything big to put in this issue yet. So, shout out to my brother Oster. I think AJ has a big chance of losing. Really? I don't think so, Smoochie. Shout out to B Dog. What up? Oster said boxers more talk than fight today. Everybody talking, suing, ducking, race for gatekeeper status, promotional BS, no fighting, just a bunch of talk. This man's so behind. Shout out to my brother Oster. I love it though. Shout out to Oster, man. Push the live button so you can catch up. But at the same time, if you enjoyed it how you enjoy it, my brother, enjoy it. I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you watching it behind, you may think you typing and talking. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know that I'm not ignoring you.
You might want to text him because if he's behind, he's not gonna see this till tomorrow.
Facts.
He's gonna be like, damn, he didn't address me till like 2 hours after.
Yo, B Dog. AJ says AJ needs to pack Jake up. Agreed. So he said I'm an AJ hater. Okay. But hey, he could get hit. You see what I'm saying? But what I also don't like, not that I don't like it, I just think once again, you know, people are so. I have to accept the banter too. You know, oh, Kendrick is back there, Clone's back. I didn't see. I'm watching the workout. My fault. Dang, my bad. I did not know y'all was in the back, man. I did see Kendrick say that earlier and I forgot. I'm sorry. I ain't on that screen. Kendrick in the building, Clone in the building. What's good, fellas?
I know you was hating on this.
Nah, bro, because I'm watching the open workout. I don't have the screen up, so I'm glad you said it, bro, because I forgot. And I did see Kendrick say it earlier and I forgot, bro. I get to talking to forget. My fault. Yeah, I saw Kendrick say it. My bad, bro. But I was gonna say, that's crazy. I think with them saying Andy, that's crazy, bro. I ain't lying, bro. They said like Andy Ruiz dropped AJ so Jake Paul could do it. It's like I know Andy Ruiz is not the most in shape heavyweight, but that AJ's packing up Jake Paul, man. I mean, Andy Ruiz is packing up Jake Paul, man. Don't compare Jake Paul to Andy Ruiz, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, we got to do better, man. But do I think Jake Paul could maybe hit him? Yeah, I think he could, but bro, AJ's a gold, bro. We forget this man's a gold medalist, dog.
Jake Paul cannot hit no AJ.
I don't think so either, but I mean, if you want to say a puncher's chance in hell, then yeah, I guess with a puncher's chance in hell.
He didn't beat Tommy Fury.
Thank you, Clone. But people don't be watching, bro, and they get caught up in the moment. It's like he didn't beat Tommy Fury. No disrespect. I do think I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I could be wrong. I could be naive, but I do think he held back on Mike Tyson. But even still, like, he didn't really look like, oh yeah, it's something that you could ponder. It's not something like, oh yeah, he definitely held back. Like, he hasn't looked good in any performance for me to be like, oh yeah, man, he could do something with AJ. So AJ is a former unified champion, a gold medal Olympian. And yes, he got packed up in his last fight, but he got packed up by a champion. He didn't get packed up by no poo-put off the street. It was Daniel Dubois. And he rocked Daniel Dubois. Like, come on, bro.
Jake Paul's best win is a coked up junior.
Facts. JCC Jr. on coke. And worries about getting deported. Right, exactly. Government bearing down on my boy, man. Still fighting, man. Shout out to JCC Jr.
Yeah, ice behind him and still couldn't finish him.
Right. So shout out to JCC Jr., man. Like, you know, he had a whole lot of pressure. I'm not saying that he's a good fighter or whatever, but yeah, like Kendrick said, you know, in so many words, like he had a guy that wasn't fully focused and still couldn't pack him up. So, bro, we talking about AJ, man. Y'all gotta stop disrespecting these fighters. Shout out to Smoochie though. Smoochie said, "Hey, I'm an AJ hitter, so she's more so rooting against." I'm not talking to Smoochie. I'm just speaking in general, man. We gotta stop. Whatever, but put your money on it. I'll say that. A lot of people say what sound good. Put your money on it. Put your money on Jake Paul. Then I'll listen to you.
Jake Paul couldn't beat Francis Ngannou if he was to accept the fight, man.
Come on now.
He hasn't fought one real boxer, and the one he did fight. Well, I mean, he did fight JCC, but the other boxer he did fight, he didn't beat.
Right.
We're not gonna count the Mike Tyson as a real fight, are we?
Right. 60 years old.
We talking about
I
the
mean,
same JCC that lost to other non-boxers.
Facts.
Remember, old ass Silva whipped his ass.
Anderson Silva. Facts.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I think Senior was beating
Plumbers and, you know, respectable blue collar jobs.
Right. Not you. No, I wasn't telling you to put your money on the smoothie. Actually, I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking about the other people that be saying it. Like you already said that you don't care for AJ, so that's different. You know, that's more so you rooting against him. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. We all human, but I'm talking about the people that are saying, "Oh, if Andy Ruiz could drop AJ, Jake Paul can." Like Andy Ruiz will beat Jake Paul, you, whoever saying that, and gosh dang the whole gym that you are familiar with in one round, back-to-back rounds. He'll knock out all y'all back-to-back rounds consecutively, man. Andy Ruiz ain't no scrub, man. He may be a scrub to other boxers. He ain't a scrub to you. Or Jake Paul.
I
Like,
say what up to y'all, man. I forgot to say what's up to everybody.
oh, you good, man. What it do? What it do?
Klung been ducking.
Hell yeah, he been ducking, man. Trying to blame it on
Ducking,
on his mate, man. On his girl, man. Ain't your girl, man. You ducking, bro.
Oh, what am I ducking? First off,
You ducking, bro.
Ty don't want to see me in no 2K.
You've been ducking the corner boys.
Kendrick cheated in Undisputed. I'm gonna live by that. He was on PC. We know how he be doing.
I got the film, just so he said that. I got the film. I can post it anytime. Actually, I'm going to post it in Discord.
Right, the man was cheating. His player was hitting faster than my player because he on PC.
That's funny.
Hey, Doc, I think I got breaking news, but I don't know how true this is.
Okay.
I gotta confirm it real quick. Apparently, maybe switching the main event.
What?
Unless you already got that.
No, I didn't get that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Brian Norman, Devin Haney. Well, I'm assuming you're talking about switching that one, right? To the main
Yeah,
event.
they swapping Benavidez.
Yeah, that it just like just the energy around that fight. And that's no disrespect to Benavidez in yard, but it's just the energy around. I don't think anybody can question that Norman and Haney. The energy around that fight is the biggest. That'd be crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, the energy is crazy, bro.
Crazy.
But they're all good fights anyway, so I ain't tripping. As long as I get to see the fights, I'm good. But I don't really care about the order. But yeah, I think that makes sense. I ain't gonna lie though, you gonna do it 3 days before the gosh dang fight. And I think it's kind of disrespectful. You might as well just let it chill, man. Like, ain't really no point, but yeah, 3 days.
But I mean, it's kind of like Shakur Zepeda, where
True.
Zepeda and Shakur were like the main event, or
Yeah,
like
and
the selling point. That was the selling point. But then they switched it for Eric. I mean, the only thing is that they did it since the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
To your point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah, Berlanga. Was that Shiraz? That was a Shiraz one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I don't
care.
think
Like you said. Yeah, but
I've been missing everything, man. Like, so the last fight that happened was Conor Ben, right? Or was
Yes,
it
sir.
Before that?
No, you're right. Conor Ben and Eubank. That was the last fight. Last big fight.
Well, how was that fight? I missed it. I ain't even see it.
Ben smoked him. Circumstances around the fight weren't too depending on who you ask, it was the same as the first fight, the circumstances, but it could have been a little bit that might weigh on you a little bit, but like I said, just off performance, if we judge a performance alone and not factoring in the circumstances surrounding the fight, then Ben kicked his ass.
He was on that snack pack.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I am waiting to see, because I gotta keep it real, man. Once you cheat, boy, I'm always waiting to see before I celebrate too much. So I've said that already. I'm waiting to see what the results are, and that's his fault. But he did win though. He won convincingly. He dropped him twice.
And he dropped him twice?
Yeah, he probably would have stopped him if it was he had a little bit more time in that 12th round.
So do you think it's gonna be a trilogy, or
I hope not, but well, I mean, I should say I hope not. I wouldn't really care either way, but Conor Ben said it won't be. He said he shut that down. Eubank hasn't really seemed to be pressing for one. I haven't seen him say anything about wanting to run it back, so it might be over with, but I don't know, that money talks, so we'll see.
I don't know what
the whole lot of talking that the parents were doing, I feel like they're gonna be seniors against seniors.
Bro, they did a face-off. Yeah, we might get. Yeah, it might keep going. It might be Nigel Benn versus Chris Eubanks Sr.
Who the hell want to see that?
I ain't gonna lie, I watched the hell out of that shit.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I watched that one. Bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Are they in their 50s, man? Come on, man.
Yeah, right. Be in their 60s. You'd watch it, Ty?
Yeah, it's smoke.
It's smoke, bro. It's smoke. I watch it. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
He's
seen
Nigel
Nine
Benn is
Hands?
61 years old, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should now. I'm just saying if they did, I'd watch it.
Nigel just pretty much came out and said, "Fuck that guy and his mom."
Right.
Damn, bro.
Exactly. I'm not saying I want it. It's not something I'm looking for. But if the way boxing going these days, man,
Ain't no way y'all want to watch that. fight.
I'll
Y'all
watch the
crazy.
hell out of it. I promise you, I'll watch it. I'll watch. I swear I'll watch. Like Bernie Mac
Nigel
said.
Benn said Nigel Benn straight up said, "I didn't like the way that he was dancing." I was like, "What? Wait,
Yeah. Yeah.
what you
Nigel
just
took
said?"
too far.
They said that about him.
Yeah.
They started talking about his deceased son, all this other stuff.
Mm.
So they need to fade.
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed that part. So
Isn't it
Nigel
UK
Benn was
media?
talking about Chris Eubanks. Oh wow. Oh, so that's why Chris Eubanks said he was a scumbag and all that. Okay. I
They
missed
kept
that.
jawing after the event.
Yeah, I saw that. I knew there was John, and I knew Nigel Benn said he'll never want to speak to the trash again and stuff like that. But I didn't know he said something about Chris Eubanks Jr.'s brother. That's crazy. Or deceased brother, rest in peace. I knew about his deceased brother with his nephew that he's raising and stuff like that, but I didn't know he said something. That's crazy. Shout out to Anubis said Eubanks Jr. versus Canelo both got smoked by two smaller guys. That's crazy. That's crazy, Anubis. Don't do cinnamon like that, man. Don't do cinnamon like that,
I
man.
mean, he didn't get smoked. Canelo didn't get smoked, but
He did.
No, he definitely did.
Who said he
I hate
did?
to say it.
Who said he did? Was that Kendrick?
He definitely did.
I did.
He got smoked, bro.
Stop. I ain't gonna say I'm with Oscar, man. I don't think he got
He got
smoked.
smoked, man.
I
ain't
think
even saying.
I'm gonna say this,
He
bro.
got
I'm
smoked.
gonna ask you a question, Claude, and I want to, do you think he got smoked? Would you say he got smoked if Terrence Crawford was a super middleweight?
The reason I say he got smoked because when I was really watching that fight, bro, he was barely hitting him, and then when he was hitting him, he was just like grazing him. He was not.
Okay.
He looked terrible out there. He was hitting
I
his shoulders.
don't think he looked
grazing his
terrible.
beard.
I think he lost.
He was grazing.
I don't think he got. You say he's grazing his beard.
Bro, he was not hitting the Terrence Crawford, bro. When you watch that fight again,
Bro, I literally watched that fight like 4 times. I thought it was a good fight. Now, I will say I made a
No, it
mistake
was a
because
good fight.
initially I called it a draw. I was wrong with that. I was wilding. I called it a draw.
draw.
Well, live in real time I called it a draw. Yeah, I did. And then I watched it again, and I watched it again, watched it again.
Right, though.
Yo, Doc is compromised, bro.
That's crazy. You know why I'm not compromised, bro? Okay, I will say this. If somebody says that I'm compromised, I'm not mad at you. But you know what's crazy about that, though, Chloe? And I'm not talking about you or anybody in the chat. Bro, I literally could put, as there's a guy as my witness, I'm even going to call out names. Karma, you know Karma, she's come through sometimes. She was watching a live breakdown of it, and I went back and watched. I don't know why I was watching it, right? And she had a guy on there. I don't know who the guy was, so I would call him out if I knew. But cool. He seemed like a cool brother, but he called it a draw. And then once the scorecards were read and Terrence Crawford won, I promise there's a God above. I hope Karma still has it up. The man said that he scored at 6'4". I don't remember if it was 6'4" or 7'5" for Bud. So my point is this. My point is saying that a lot of people just go with the gander, bro. They don't want to be their own goose, man. You know what I'm saying? They just want to go with the rest of the sheep, bro. They go with the flock. You know what I'm saying? Like the man literally scored at a draw. Then when the scorecards, when Terrence Crawford won, he said he had Terrence Crawford winning. How you do that, Jose? How you do that, Jamal? How you do bro? How you do that,
Well,
Jimmy?
it's kind of like Sean Porter just switching back on the Merle Benavidez fight.
Right.
Where he was like, well, to be fair, I was really watching it on my phone. I don't know, fuck, were you watching it? You watching it, dude.
Right.
Like, Sean Porter, I know you don't got a Nokia.
You Sean Porter. I'm saying that to say that I think more. I'm not saying that you had it, Clone. I'm not, bro. If you scored it 9 rounds to 3 in favor of Bud, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not saying that it had to be a close fight. Yeah, I'm not saying it had to be a close fight. What I'm saying is that I think a lot of people are just going with the masses. I think a lot of people may have had it closer than what they are admitting post fight. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. Yeah, Terrence Crawford, bro. I could see it. Somebody scoring it. Or like Ty said, 10-2 or 9-3 or 8-4. I'm not saying that you had to see it as a close fight. I'm saying that I think there's a lot of people that did see it as a closer fight than what they are admitting. You know, but I watched it again. I think I watched it total 4 times, and I got it. And those times I had it. I still didn't have it that wide. I had it 7-5 for Bud, but I had it more convincing for Bud than I initially thought. But I always had it 7-5. The first time I watched it live, I had it a draw.
You had to watch it 4 times just to say that you was wrong.
That's no. That's I said I scored it every time. No, that's not what I say. You see how evil people get you, bro. See how they twist your words, bro. That's not what I said. I did not say it took me 4 times to get 7-5. I said I watched it 4 times, and each time after the initial draw, I had it 7-5. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Just because you're a doctor don't mean you're always right, man.
That's crazy, bro.
Ooh,
That's
damn,
crazy, bro.
Slow
That's
blow.
crazy, bro. I was never.
Personal,
You feel me? And even if I said it was a draw, I was never mad that Bud won because, like I said, I had a couple. I think I had like 2 swing rounds too. Or no, I think I have one swing round.
All right. So how did you have it a draw though? Like, what did you see that made you think, or what did you see that you felt like this fight is close?
I thought that a lot of people weren't counting Bud's. Sorry, not Bud. I thought a lot of people weren't counting Canelo's like body work. I thought he was doing decent body work. I thought he was applying pressure. I thought he was the one coming forward. Not the majority, because there was times when Terrence Crawford came forward in spots. And I'm not saying that just coming forward wins you a fight, but I thought that in some rounds where there wasn't as much going on, you know, where Canelo landed here and there, or he landed a shot. I think it's because I think Terrence Crawford took the shot so well that some of his shots were kind of overlooked. Some of the work that Canelo was doing. And Canelo, and in turn, Crawford was landing so cleanly, and he was so willing to engage in exchange at points. I think we were so impressed by that, which I was definitely impressed by, bro. Hey, Crawford. I don't say that to take anything away from Crawford, man. I say that to say I just thought it was a close fight that he clearly won, and I'm giving so much respect to Crawford. I thought that Canelo fought a good fight, and Crawford still beat him, despite him fighting a good fight. I'm not saying like, oh yeah.
I think that my bad.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I didn't think that Crawford was gonna fight that type of fight.
Bro, I
was more surprised that he was that defensive. And that evasive. I don't think I've seen him. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen him in a fight where he was that evasive. I feel like he was engaging, but he was engaging in a way that he wasn't really getting hit. And if he was getting hit, it wasn't like clean shots. I don't know if he got hit clean, maybe to the body, but I don't think he got hit clean in the face that whole fight.
I think he got hit.
I might have to watch
hit one time on the top of the head, like the forehead area, one time, but never like in the jaw. I don't recall him get hit like in the cheek area clean, but he got hit one good time. He thumped Canelo like a hungry hippo, thumped him on the top of the head. Hey, he took that well.
But, I think Bud is way more elusive than people give him credit for. That's why people were so surprised, but that's also why I picked Bud. Is because you think that he's getting hit, but he's really catching a lot of punches. And
yeah, you're probably right about that. Because I feel like he get hit a lot. Maybe he is catching them and I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, that's what happens. Because even in the Spence fight, it looked like he was getting hit, but he really wasn't getting hit. He was beating the shit out of Spence and catching a lot of those punches.
Yeah, man. My
Relax.
Spence got a wheelchair.
Relax, bro. We saw the fight, bro.
Nah, don't get mad now.
He had to say he beat shit out of him, bro. Come on, bro. It's already over, bro. It was years ago, bro. Gosh, dang, bro. Years ago, bro.
You know you lost a fight bad when you get a wheelchair. You're not running the football or something.
Yeah, he did Spence dirty, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He beat the hell out of Spence. That was a great performance, man. Shout out to Bud, bro. That was hey, man. That was I know circumstances, you know, whatever, but kind of like what I said with the Spence, not Spence, but Eubanks and Ben. Like you got to judge the performance, but hey, that might be one of the best performances in boxing history, dog. One of them, not the best, but one of them. That's up there. For what that fight was, undisputed, how much excitement that had, man. It just wasn't, it just wasn't as competitive as we would hope for or thought. But man, that performance by Bud, man, no question, who was the best,
bro. My homies kind of stopped watching boxing after Spence got beat up like that. He was like, bro, I can't watch him get beat down like this.
Oh, hey, I don't blame him, bro. I don't blame him, bro.
Like, yo, I can't watch this. He said, I can't watch the rest of this fight.
No, I don't blame him, bro.
I was like, yeah, it is kind of brutal.
That's brutal, dog. That's how I felt with Jermaine Taylor, man. That was like really my first favorite boxer. Like, of course I like Floyd and stuff, but Jermaine Taylor was my guy, man. When Kelly Pavlik had him folded up in the corner, bro, looking sad,
yeah,
bro.
Felt bad.
Bro. Oh my gosh, but that was tough. That week was tough for me. Felt like I lost. But that was also good too, because then, you know what I'm saying? Like when I have other favorite fighters, is like when they lose, they don't really, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just a sport, you know what I'm saying? I was like, gosh,
who else fought in the last week that I missed? Wasn't there another fight that you had?
Michaela Mayer and Natasha Jonas. I mean, sorry. Michaela Mayer, Mary Spencer. Excuse me, Mary Spencer. Natasha Jonas fought Michaela Mayer a couple years last year or something. Michaela Mayer and Mary Spencer, and then I'm trying to think. That's really about it. No, someone else fought. Nicholas Floss got belt to ass by Delonte Tiger Johnson. Beat the hell out of Nicholas Floss. That was another card.
I'm not familiar with those guys. What weight class is that?
147 welterweight. It was on Pro Box. That might have been. Was that the same? That was the same weekend as Conor Benn and Chris Eubank, right? It was just a Friday, I think. Nah. I think so.
So that's the same weight class as Boots, right? Will Boots fight one of those guys, or those guys?
No, that's where Boots just came from. 147.
Oh, okay. He's 154.
Yeah, you're 154 now. Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yep. But now you were partially right. That's where he came from. Yeah. So Nicholas Floss and Delonte Tiger Johnson could fight like Devin Haney, Brian Norman, Mario Barrios, Rolly Romero, Lewis Crocker type stuff.
So what happens if David Haney like loses to Brian Norman? Does he just who's he fight after that, or did he just retire?
Oh, Erickson Lubin and Virgil Ortiz. That was a fight.
Oh yeah, I missed that fight too. Who won that?
Virgil by 2-round demolition.
Damn, was that bad? I never thought he was that good.
It wasn't even Erickson Lubin or Ortiz or both.
Ortiz.
Oh yeah, he definitely looked good against Lubin though. He it was a beatdown, man. Lubin didn't. I don't know. Lubin didn't look like he wanted to be there, man. Virgil, not that he didn't look like he wanted to be there in the first round, but Virgil Ortiz beat him into submission, man. That was crazy. Oh man. I don't know.
Real quick, speaking of getting knocked out, I'm on the golf course right now. Why I just hit a golf ball and I cracked a duck straight in the head, bro?
That's crazy. This man out here.
Out.
I'm calling Pete on your ass.
Yo. Bro, he's a duck. You would think he knows when to duck.
When to duck, he a duck. He's supposed to duck. That's a fact. This man hit the duck in the head, bro. He was swimming?
Yo, he was just walking across the shit.
Oh, you hit him with a drive-by, bro. That's crazy, dog.
Yo.
This man cracked the duck.
Habitat. Y'all can kick the duck off the habitat to golf, man.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, we didn't kick him off the habitat. He just in danger.
That's crazy. An endangered species that ain't in danger. It's crazy. Or that is in danger. Yeah. He's in danger, but he's not in danger. That's crazy. He is, specifically, as an individual.
So Ortiz got to fight Boots next then, right? Who else would he fight?
Got to? He should have to, but I don't think he's going to. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know you made a video on that.
Oh, my Lord, bro. That's so disappointing, man. Well, we never know. We'll wait and see. Yeah. Speaking of duck, exactly. Yeah, he might have just hit Virgil Ortiz. That's how Boots. In order for Boots to hit Virgil, he gonna have to hit him how Kendrick hit that duck. Hit him with, you know what I'm saying? Sneak up on him and bing, catch him while he ain't looking. Gosh, they gonna have to trap him, bro. Virgil Ortiz tripping.
That's the only thing I think. If they do what I think they're gonna do with Dana White, would kind of make it like more like UFC. That's the only thing that I could see them implementing is making these guys actually fight the guys that we would want to see fight.
True.
Other than them like kind of ducking all the time.
Yep.
But I don't think that's gonna happen though.
Yeah. Smoochie says, who do you think had the performance of the month? Ooh, I got to go with the month. I got to go with Virgil. Who you got? I got to go with Virgil on that. The month, November. Who else? Who?
Tiger Johnson.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. He beat the hell out of Nicholas Floss.
Tiger getting his ass beat.
Tiger getting his butt by who? Who you think?
You said by Virgil?
No. Wait, what did you say, kid? Maybe I thought you said Tiger is going to get his ass beat. What'd you say?
By who you said? Who y'all say?
No. He was there. Smoochie asked who's the performance of the month. I said Virgil. Ty said Tiger as performance of the month.
John Cena.
John Cena. Yeah, Smoochie asked who has the performance of the month. I said Virgil. Ty says Tiger Johnson over Nicholas Floss. I say Virgil over Erickson Lubin. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, make conversation. Connor Ben over Eubank.
Connor Ben.
Nah, fuck that.
Connor Ben's a good one. What about Espinosa over Kagai? I mean, I don't think Kagai has a big enough name. The Ukrainian ranked number 9.
I think
contender.
we're kind of expecting the same thing.
Yeah, we're kind of expecting that.
Nah, if you call out, like, calling someone out,
yeah.
If you come to the performance, then it has to go for Espinosa.
I'm gonna say Haney gonna have a performance of the month.
Ooh, okay.
Brian Norman.
Okay.
I'm rooting for Haney, man.
I'm rooting for Haney. I'm rooting for Norman. But I think it's gonna be a good fight though. May the best man win, man.
I'm happy that you're going for Norman because, like I said in chat earlier, for some reason, every time we go on the same fighter in these fights, recently, our fighter been losing. So I need you to be on the other side.
Wait. What'd you say? What happened? What happened?
Doc is a curse. Doc is a curse.
I said, when me and you pick the same fighter, like these kind of like, shaky 50-50 fights, fights that we think is like a sure thing, like the Caleb Plant fight, you know what I mean? I think David Dubois, did you pick David Dubois too?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you get smoked, bro. I can't do it. I just on the side.
Wait.
Tank didn't get the job done. Nah, bro.
Wait, you said David Dubois over Usyk? No, I didn't pick Dubois over Usyk. I think you're talking about AJ. My fault. No, I didn't pick Dubois over Usyk. No. When you said Dubois, I don't know why I forgot about Usyk fight. I was thinking about Dubois and AJ.
Over Usyk. Oh, you did. Yeah, you did.
I did.
I picked Dubois over Usyk. I probably did. Maybe I did. I don't know. I probably did. That sounds about right.
I think we were both rooting for Dubois. Maybe
Yeah.
You didn't pick.
Yeah, I don't know if I picked him. I don't know if I pick over Usyk, but you could be right. I'm gonna go with you because I don't quite remember. So I'm gonna go. If you say I did, I'm gonna go with it.
You did pick that man.
Right, cool, yeah.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, we both picked him, and I was like, "Damn, we got smoked."
So wait. So you saying that we both picking Norman now? Norman about to get smoked? Oh Lord!
No, I'm not picking Norman. I'm saying if you was picking Haney too, Haney was about to get smoked.
Oh, I got you. You're not picking. I got you. So if we were both picking, I got you. If we were both picking Haney, then Haney's gonna lose. I got you.
So
Oh no, man!
Damn near. It's not even just Doc, because Doc has won, and me and him don't agree too. It's just if me and him agree, we probably gonna lose.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So when we agree, it's raps. Yeah, it's bad. I got you.
Struggles.
Oh
I
Lord.
gotta see who Dub pick.
Well, I'm going with Norman, man. I'm going Norman in 8, man. I got Bam in 10, and I got Mason by UD. And I got David in 9, I think. I said. Anubis said he got Ben. I think Ben got it unless he pops for steroids. True.
Yeah, that's fine.
You kind of low, Oscar.
Oh shit, my bad.
No, you good. It just went low. You weren't low before. Yo, don't forget to smack that like button. We should have. Come on now, tighten up. Smack the like button now. Smack the like button. But yeah, man. I mean, the fight's right around the corner, bro. It's like it goes so far, and then it just popped up on me, man. It's just crazy.
I did not think this was gonna happen.
Norman Haney. I didn't think it was gonna happen either.
I didn't think it was gonna happen
I don't
either.
think it's
I'm
gonna
with you. I did not think Norman Haney was gonna happen. I did not think
Prove
so.
me wrong.
Prove me wrong too. That's why I'm
I
so
think
happy.
that Zepeda and Shakur. I mean, not Zepeda. I think
Shakur and Tio?
Teofimo and Shakur is gonna happen.
Nope.
No.
But
you
they
was in
both
the big
confirmed.
fight.
They both confirmed though. They both confirmed. Even Tio. Hey, Tio said something about they're both gonna make a lot of money. They're gonna make a lot of money this fight. So we'll see. I still don't believe it. Like I said, man, when it
It's
comes to
gonna be after
Teofimo,
January.
when it comes to Teofimo, man, I only believe it when they both in the ring and the first round bell goes ding. Doc Capart says Haney and 9. Ooh, Haney and 9 stopping Norman. Okay,
I don't know about that.
I'm about to go 4 for 4 on y'all. I'm going 4 for 4 on this one.
Hell no.
I said hell no. I'll wait for her to say that. I'm going 4 for 4, bro. What I'm going, Ty? 3 for 4?
I don't know. What's that lineup again?
Norman
Yeah,
in 8,
Benavidez.
Bam in 10, Mason by UD, and Benavidez in 9.
I like some of them
At least
picks.
it's stopping him.
Wrong rounds.
Okay. The Sanford Pet
Mason is
says
7.
you said Mason is 7? Who said that?
Yeah,
Kendrick?
me. KD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mason is 7.
I got Mason in 6.
Mason is 6. Woo! I got Mason by UD, man. Sanford Pet says, does Yard punch harder than Morrell? I think so. But that's the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I check out that issue, bro. Does he place as well as Morrell? And so if you can't land, it's like we know Canelo hits hard. It's like I think what Terrence Crawford said was perfect. I'm so glad he offered more elaboration because I knew people were going to take him out of context. He said that Mean Machine hit him harder. And then he added clarity in another interview. He said, yeah, when I say Mean Machine hit me harder, he's not saying that he's stronger than Canelo. It's just that he hit him better. His placement was better. The accuracy was better. You know what I'm saying? So he got hit more flush by Kavalauskas. So when that happens, that's going to hurt more. It's going to be a harder punch. Doesn't mean that he's stronger. So when you ask me, does Yard hit harder than Morrell? I would say absolutely. I think so. I don't know, but I would think so. But does that mean that he's going to hit Benavidez harder than what Morrell hit him? I don't know. It's because Yard is a little wilder, right? He's a little wilder with his punches. So is he as accurate as Morrell? Is he going to be able to land as flush as Morrell? I don't know.
With Benavidez, you don't gotta be accurate.
That's true too. He's not the most hard. He's not the hardest person to hit. Yeah. I agree with that. But if you get hit if you landed while you're getting hit, that's also going to take some steam off your punches too. So if he can hit you in between your shots, then that's something.
I don't know. I just think Benavidez got more questions for me at least to answer. Just like Ty said, if we're gonna question everybody in the card, me,
that was a great point by Ty. We only questioned 2 fighters. My bad, Oscar. Go ahead. My fault.
No, I agree with Ty too. But what Ty said, for me, then Benavidez got to prove me wrong. And Yard is a good win too. Don't get me wrong, but is he elite?
Nah. And that's why I was going to interject there. I think this is the wrong opponent to sit there and put Benavidez under a microscope because the guy that he's facing got more problems than answers. I got word from what's going on with his camp. He bought me another Lubin.
Oh no!
It won't be in 2 though. But
he said it won't be in 2 though.
Yeah, he's not seeing the 7th round. Benavidez doing Jordan numbers.
Yeah, that's not good, bro. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I shared a similar. I'm gonna let you go, Cole. After I want to add to what Ty said. I share a similar concern too because I saw some camp videos and like I said, ain't nothing. I mean, you're not gonna be hard training every time, every second, but I just saw a couple too many little playing around videos, man, with him and Tunde Ajayi, his trainer, man. I didn't really just because of seeing that and then hearing what you're hearing. It's never a good look, you know what I'm saying? But, we only see clips for we just get glimpses inside the camp. That just means they're not doing some hard work, King. So, but go ahead, Chloe.
I was going to ask you, how come you have so many questions for Benavidez? I think he's looking a little Mickey, or I just don't believe him in his weight class?
No, I just think I'll let Oscar answer that. I think what you say just from an opposition standpoint. But go ahead, Oscar. I'll let you answer.
For me, it's not even that I have so much question. It's just I don't believe that he is what people say he is. Like people say he's this monster and that he's had nothing but tough matches. That's not true. That is not true. He fought Bosniak after a 2-year sabbatical. Is that a good win? On paper it is, but for a debut it is. But then people sit here and tell me that Boots' debut is trash. So it's like, where you draw the line? For me, I just don't believe what people say about Benavidez.
All right, so let me ask you this: if he is not as good as they say he is, what kept him from fighting Canelo for so long?
Himself.
Same thing
Himself.
that kept him from fighting Plant and Jamal, and pretty much unifying any unification on 168.
Himself and his management.
Exactly.
Okay. Y'all don't think Canelo was scared because he wasn't on the cow?
I don't think I don't think Canelo was scared, but I definitely think he was cautious though. You know, I don't think that he wanted to fight Benavidez, but to say scared, I don't think he was scared. But at the same time, I think Benavidez is a threat. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it was just a threat that he didn't have to take, or a risk that he didn't have to take. You know, so you could say that he didn't fight all comers, but it depends who you ask. Man, I just ask for consistency. If you're gonna say Bud is scared of Boots, which I don't think so either, but then you have to say Canelo's scared of Benavidez. I don't think there's like no. I don't think you say one and not the other. Like I think sometimes you're just not in a position to where you have to fight somebody, so it doesn't really make sense. But I would have loved to see Canelo and Benavidez. I think Canelo would have won. I like to see the fighters I like take challenges, but I definitely think that Benavidez is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Canelo beats him now, but also Benavidez is a big guy. He's always been a big guy, but he's in light heavyweight now. So, but now I'm also the same person that I don't really put too much into. I don't really think it was that bad that Canelo lost to Bivol, but some people do. But it's like I factor in the weight. You know what I'm saying? The moving up. Is that a fight that he could have won? I was disappointed that he lost. I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, it's okay that he lost. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that I think that the way people mention it, like it's just, oh well, he just lost to a guy. Well, yeah, he moved up. It was a challenge.
Yeah. Do y'all think that Yard?
Oh my bad.
Oh my bad.
He good.
I was gonna say, do y'all think that Yard hits harder than Bosniak?
Yes.
I would say yes.
He's not as accurate.
I was about to say that. Yeah. Alexander Vazik. I would think that he's more accurate, but I would think Yard from a single shot. So when you ask me like they hit harder, like I imagine them going on like one of them punch machines. I would think Yard gets a higher rating than Vazik. But I would have Vazik beating Yard though.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
so
Yard.
This isn't a good fight then.
I think it's a good fight though. I think it's a good fight. I think because of circumstances, I think that I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think that, and I don't know, so I'm not trying to not Benavidez. I think Benavidez is good. I kind of just I agree with Oscar that you could question it, but I do think that Benavidez he's good. You know what I'm saying? I do think he's good, and I do think that you can ask questions though, but I do think that he's good. I do think Vazik was a good win, but I'm not sure that if Vazik, like if it was the Vazik that fought Beterbiev or Adonis Stevenson, do I think that Dave Benavidez beats him? I think that's a better fight. I don't know who wins. I'm not gonna say that he would lose, but I'm not gonna say for sure he would win either. Like I don't think Vazik. Yeah, I don't think Vazik was the best Vazik, but I don't blame Benavidez for that though. It is what it is. But fellas, man, I'm about to go ahead and slide, man. Go get me some food, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Kendrick.
Into the back.
That's crazy, bro. He said, yeah, y'all can chill. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all can chill. But I want to ask you, Kendrick, you said you checked out the article, man. Any suggestions? I love to hear suggestions, man, or if it's just cool or what.
Something that sparked my interest about the article was that just the concepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talked about power and where it comes from and the base.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of the same thing in golf. Like, you think like the dude with the most muscles and stuff like that will hit it further.
Right.
But it's actually comes from your base and your hip turn. So it's like almost the same concept.
Hey.
So that was interesting to me.
That's dope, man. Appreciate that, man. Hell yeah. That is interesting how you can make correlations. Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I'm gonna try to tie in more cross sport, I guess, references too. That was dope. Appreciate that.
I was gonna tell him that he probably should tell you.
Shut your
off
ass
air
up.
so
You ain't
nobody
read it.
steal
Shut
your
up.
Right. Nah, I was gonna say somebody.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead, bro. My fault. My bad. Go ahead, bro. Shout out to Kendrick, man.
That's why I hope
Appreciate
you
it.
on. That's why I hope you on succeed.
That's crazy, bro.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that Kendrick probably should tell you off air. That way nobody steal your concepts or nothing.
Oh, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, no, I think that yeah, that's true too. But yeah, man, if you comment on it, man, I always respond. Shout out to Oster, you commented and stuff like that, man. I appreciate that, bro. Like I say, only if you're interested. Don't feel like you have to check it out. But if you like real boxing, man, I'm trying to just come at it from from the way I see it and from just like studying the game, you know what I'm saying, student of the game and actually my experiences in amateur and like what my coaches told me to look at and stuff like that, and books I've read and stuff like that. So
Hey Doc.
Yo.
Before you go, I got one question for you.
Yes, sir. Kendrick, I see you talking. I don't know. We can't hear you though. I just see a light.
No, I'm not talking.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Ty.
Just walking on the course.
Okay, bet.
Do you know the story behind how Benavidez and Yard got matched?
About involving Turkey or something else. So I know about Turkey. Was asking, of course, you know, Callum Smith and stuff like that. They turned it down, but then there was another guy that they had signed up, but then Turkey preferred Yard. If it's anything more than that, then no, I don't know. I was watching an interview on that actually. But yeah, anything more than that, I don't think so.
You know why Turkey preferred him? Because somebody recommended him.
That's crazy. Who recommended him?
Bill Haney.
Wow. Yeah, it might be GG's. And you know Bill Haney's friends with yeah, GG's for Yard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, Bill Haney kind of a good matchmaker now. You see what happened with Bud and Canelo.
Jose Benavidez Sr. and he was like, they were having problems finding him an opponent. He called up Tunde. Next thing got them in contact with the Turk, and now we had the fight.
That's one thing I will say though. Shout out to Tunde Ajayi, but bigger shout out to Anthony Yard. You know, Tunde Ajayi, for those who don't know, Tunde Ajayi is Yard's trainer. Anthony Yard really don't duck no smoke, man. I be rooting for him, man. And but sometimes you gotta have your team to kind of protect you from yourself. Man, he's very ambitious and he don't duck no smoke. I rock with that. I really believe Anthony Yard, one of the few people that say that they'll fight anybody anytime. I believe Anthony Yard. You wrote about Anthony Yard, he'll fight you.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that. So that may not be smart. I'm not saying that's smart, but that's respectable.
In the club.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's
he undefeated in the nightclub.
I bet. I bet.
Hey, Bill Haney's matchmaker of the year, you said?
He might be, especially if Benavidez does what I'm thinking he's gonna. I think he beats Yard, so he might be matchmaker of the year, man.
Because of how Tunde runs his camps, he don't believe in bringing guys in for sparring, so he usually depends on local, club level guys.
Yep.
And he also doesn't record.
I say I didn't know that part, but yeah, I be watching Tunde Ajayi, man. He'll give you an insight if you watch his show with Spencer. What's his name? Spencer Fearon. Thank you. Yeah, I be watching it. I can't remember what it's called right now on top of my head, but I be watching him and talk. Just interested in here. Like that's how I be like hearing some stuff, over there and stuff. I be watching their show. I really be watching a lot of stuff. So, but they have some good banter and he gives you some insight into his training practices or lack of, like Ty saying. So yeah, man, you could get some insights.
He a good piece to a team though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. As a head trainer, I'm not sure, but like I say, I like him now. Yeah, I rock with him. So it ain't my career. But fellas, man, I'm finna go ahead and slide, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Any last words, man? You know what I'm talking about? For the show, Clone, starting with Clone, and then Ty. I think Kendrick and Oscar slid already.
I always appreciate the time with y'all fellas, man. Always good talking to you, man.
Likewise, my brother.
Hey, shout out to the newsletter. I ain't gonna never read it because you're a hater.
That's crazy, bro.
Wishing all demise for your whole channel.
That's crazy. Hey, that's all good, man. As long as you rock with me, man, I'm with it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Check out the newsletter right there, man. DocsCorner.beehive.com. It's in the chat, man. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Appreciate the feedback. Shout out to my brother Ty, man. Go ahead and close it out, bruh.
I got Sam Noakes getting stopped in the 10th round.
Mm.
So that's Abdullah win. I got Bam stopping Puma. Not sure when. I just know it's coming. Pause.
Yeah, we're going to pause that.
I got, like I said before, I got Dave Benavidez tapping into Michael Jordan game 6 because there will be no 7th round. I don't know
No
if the
game
towel gonna
7s,
fly.
man.
I don't know if the ref gonna wave it. I don't know if this man gonna be asleep on his feet. And for the last match, I got Devin Haney by UD, a close UD, 7-5, 7-5, 8-4.
Hey.
But I do have one thing to say. Now, if that boy ain't got his confidence, if he ain't right between the ears, he get knocked the fuck out. And when he do, we gonna see his mom in the crowd fainting again.
Whoop he do? It's crazy, bro. Nah, bro, don't. We go. Somebody please, somebody keep Miss Haney up, man. Don't let her fall out again, man. Don't let her fall out again, man. People recording that making fun. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That was wild. That was a wild scene to see. It was funny, but it's like, come on, dog. People just be wilding, man. They be making memes out of his mama, bro. You don't see this type of reaction out of somebody who got cheated, dog. Shout out to He's crazy.
All jokes aside, if I wasn't a Devin Haney, supporter,
right,
I would have clipped up the "Oh Lord."
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
I ain't gonna lie, it's funny now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no lie. Shout out to my brother Tom, man. But I'm talking about those goofies on the internet, man. They got no remorse for Devin, boy. Gosh, Lee. No conscience, man. But then, like you see, when I bring up the hypocrisy and these people, they just block you. Because he couldn't say nothing back, bro. Because he know it's true. We don't have that energy for Galal Yafai, bro. Bro, bro, when I tell y'all, chat, I don't even know why people block me. What did I say that was wrong? I didn't say anything offensive. I wasn't abrasive. I wasn't rude. The man blocked me because I spoke the truth. All I did was point out his hypocrisy. Because he will not say, oh, I rewatched Galal Yafai get whooped by Francisco Rodriguez, so that lets me know how Galal Yafai is going to perform in his next fights. You never see anybody reference a fight where somebody got cheated and make it seem like that's indicative of their future performances. I'm not saying it's not. Because like I said, I'm picking Brian Norman too. But it ain't got nothing to do with me watching Brian. I haven't watched that fight. I don't think I've watched that fight since I found out he cheated, to be honest. To me, it's not a fight. That's just how I look at it. I don't know. That's just me. And if I watch it, I watch for entertaining person, not to make it seem like I'm getting some some testimony or some insight onto Devin Haney. Like, on one hand, you'll say, oh, Devin Haney didn't fight his right fight, but then he didn't fight how he normally fights. But on the other hand, you're telling me that's what you're using as evidence as to why you're picking against him. I mean, how could it be both? If that's not what he what he normally looks like, why are you using it as a reference as to what he's going to look like in the future? It's literally contradictory, bro. They have no basis. And once you point it out, they get mad and block you. It's your bum ass.
That just remind me. This is a message to Brian Norman, senior and junior. Bro, I seen that shit you was working on. Don't bring your ass in that ring sitting there trying to switch it. Your ass gonna get pieced up doing that shit. Stick to what you know. Be patient. Find that shot. Stalk this man. Do what you do best. Don't come in there trying to do some goofy shit. Your ass gonna get cooked.
Rotisserie roasted.
Switch it. It did not look good.
Hey, do what you know, man. Do what you do best. That goes for everybody.
It didn't look like Boots. Shit. It didn't even look like Jack Ketterall switching.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to Jack Catterall getting that W as well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bozy, man. One time for Bozy. Yep. So, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. Give me some food, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up as always, man. Keep rocking with your boy, man. We growing, man. You know it's crazy too. I ain't gonna mess because it's gonna sound like I'm complaining, but just know that I be getting hating on, bro. We 4,000 strong, man. BTF is 4,000 strong. My last video had 4 views, not 40, not 400, 4. That's how I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about YouTube. I know they're hating on me, bro. Like, there's no, bro. 4,000 subscribers, 10% is 400. 1% is 40. 4 is 0.1%. Like, that's just straight up. That's straight up not pushing out my stuff. That's all that is. Huh?
YouTube know who you are.
And that's why the blow up gonna feel. That's why the glow up gonna feel so good. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they weren't in my favor. You feel me? Wasn't nobody in my favor, man, except for God and the people that rock with me.
They remember you from Twitch. Do you think they remember you came here from Twitch? Doc trying to erase his past.
I'm trying to. Why you bringing up old stuff, bro? I'm trying to erase my past, bro. I'm trying to start on a fresh slate, bro. A new slate, bro. I'm talking about, bro. Hey, shout out to Clone, bro. You know, bro. I'm not gonna blame it on nothing, bro. I'm just gonna let y'all think about it, bro. Twitch banned me for no reason, bro. And then I emailed them and said, "Why'd you ban me?" They banned me and said, "Oh, it was our mistake, but don't do it again." Ask Clone was there, bro. That's literally what they emailed me and told me, bro.
So they treated you like so Illuminati,
bro. They said it was their mistake, but told me not to do it again. What can
that was funny. That was some gangster stuff right there.
tighten up. You know what you did.
You know what you did. You ain't do nothing, but do better and tighten up. Yeah. But it's literally what the email said. In so many words.
That was funny, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Dog.
It was messed up, but it was funny.
Clone, bro. They banned me for 7 days, a week, bro. And I'm so glad you were there so people don't think I'm making it up, bro. And I put the email on screen, dog. If I was like one of them big streamers, like Soul Illuminati or somebody Ty mentioned, I would have sued their draws off, bro. Because how much income, but the income that I missed, you know, I mean, I probably could still have a good case because you never know. Cash App could have popped in one of those 7 days and went crazy. You know, on Twitch, sometimes Cash App will pop in on a random stream, which, I mean, you know, right. the chances are slim, but you never know. Well, a billionaire investor could have saw me one of those 7 days. Bro, I should probably still look into that, man. You never know what could happen, man. Funny, they banned me, bro.
Email, though. I'll keep that email, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it. Oh, please believe I got it. I got to go find it, but I got it.
Just in case one of these CEOs get in trouble, you pop up like, hold on, let me add on to that.
Yeah, let me add on to that. Facts. They banned me, bro, for 7 days, and the crazy part is this, like Chloe knows, they didn't respond to me for 2 weeks. So when they responded, they said it was their mistake. It's not like they responded the next day and then they cut my ban short. I wouldn't complain. I'm a reasonable person. They responded 2 weeks. I got banned for 7 days. That was the length. So I served the full time that I got banned for, just for them to tell me 2 weeks later that I didn't do anything wrong. It was their mistake. But also warned me not to do it again.
And in that time frame, I think old girl was wilding on it. So remember old girl wild out?
Which one?
I think she got banned for a day.
Oh yeah. Yep. Out there naked. So out there naked on Twitch, got banned for a day and came back. But you know, she had a big following, you know.
You got banned for a whole week.
I got banned for a whole week. You feel me?
Yeah,
right. He out of here, bro.
Get him out of here.
Yep. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking, man. But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and slide, bro. There can't nothing stop it. Well, I say that to say, man, keep going, man. Especially you got something good. When God's on your side, no matter what happens, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next week, next month, next year. But man, you just keep the faith and keep going, man. That's why I like Ty said, it's motivation for me. I don't let it break me, bro. It's motivation. That means I'm gonna keep going and growing, baby. It ain't supposed to be easy, man. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about how blessed King David was. I'm not comparing myself to King David, relax. But I'm saying we always talk about how blessed and King David was, how great his kingdom is. We don't talk about how Saul had him running through the woods for how many, 12 years or something like that. You know, I gotta go back and read my Bible, check up. But point is, he was running for a long time. He was isolated for a long time. He was lonely for a long time. You know, sometimes it takes a long time to get there, man. So we talk about the glow up and the blow up, but we don't talk about the struggle. So King David was definitely blessed, biblically speaking, you know, with his kingdom and stuff. But there was a long time he was running through the woods. A long time he was being chased. A long time he was being hunted. A long time he was, you know, suffering. So sometimes you can't look at it. Some people make it when they 5 years old and blow up. Some people work for 2 years at something and blow up. Some people work for It seems like they blew up overnight. Sometimes it takes a little longer for some people. You're on your own journey, man. Don't compare yourself to others, man. You keep going. You gonna make it, bro. Or sis. You gonna make it. Yep. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. Appreciate you, Clone. Appreciate you, Ty. Oh, hey, Thomas, I see you in the back, bro. I did not know you. How long you was back there? Oh, no, you just got back there. Okay, I'm about to slide. Okay, Beb. I'm about to say,
And
dang.
send us the members.
I got you. I'm about to send y'all the members, man. Appreciate y'all, fellas. Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and slide, Thomas. I appreciate you, bro. I just saw you, man. Yeah, I gotta get some food. If I pull you up, I like talking with you, man. So I'm gonna be up. I'll be off for gosh dang 2 more hours. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. We'll chop it up next show. Good Lord willing. Thomas said, yeah, he was in the woods on the run. Yeah, on the run, been through it all. Yep, but protected through it all. Amen. Come on now. Yeah, because Saul was jealous of him. You know what I'm saying? Saul was jealous of him, and you know how it goes. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get to preaching, but yeah, Saul was jealous of him, and he was hunting him for a long time, man. We just talk about how wide his kingdom is, how blessed he is, how protected he is. But yeah, man, he was definitely wasn't always anointed. Saul attempted to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to hunt him just to be friends with him. He was hunting him to kill him. So yeah, he was hunted relentlessly for years by a king. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was just one person, like, oh, it's just my rival. No, it was a king. So yeah, people looking for him too. You know what I'm saying? So we just talk about the good times. It's like when Jordan says too, it's like, yeah, you remember me for the game winners that I hit, but I missed a lot of shots too. I missed a lot of game winners too, but we remember the big ones where he jumped up against Cleveland, pumping his fist on, was that Elo, Craig Elo? And then we remember when he, you know what I'm saying, crossed up Byron Russell, scoop, on the Utah Jet. We remember those, but there's a lot of misses too, but we don't remember the misses. We just, I mean, let's keep it boxing. Like, look at Floyd, right? Everybody wants to be Floyd and be worried about being undefeated and make all this money. They don't talk about Pretty Boy. You know what I'm saying? Where he was in the dirt punching on, you know, guys like Castillo, the Wars of Castillo, Diego Corrales, rest in peace, Oscar De La Hoya, Zab Judah, DeMarcus Chop Corley, you know, Emmanuel Augustus. They don't talk about those fights. We only talk about the Canelo fights, the McGregor fights, the Pacquiao fight. We don't talk about, you know, we talk about the Marquez fight maybe sometimes, but we don't talk about the one where we gotta go through the mud. So yeah, man. Yep, it's always a process, man. Whether people are watching or not, it's a process. You go just keep working, man. But I appreciate y'all rocking as always. Yes, sir. Don't forget to smack that like button. Check out Doc's Corner. That is the newsletter. Issue 2 was released on today. It was released today at 12 p.m. You know, and it's a weekly newsletter written by yours truly every Wednesday at 12 p.m., man. You know what I'm saying? Check it out if you're a real boxing fan. Real boxing fans only. But I appreciate y'all rocking. Don't forget to find us on Spotify, Dr. Boxing Talk on all platforms. And yeah, man, I'm going to be back next time. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, man. So y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Smack the like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.